Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Megan Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
Welcome back to another Best Ball Lunch Break. I have Hoohames on as a guest today. We're going to do some drafts. Looking forward to it. Underdog just dropped a new contest yesterday, one that they released last year that I was a pretty big fan of. We'll talk about that first. We'll draft that, and then we'll probably draft something else. But let me hit up chat real quick before we get into it. We got Meg, of course, checking in. Hey, brother and Hoohames. Mike Rob, how about my thumbnail AI game? Vegas Meg is on a roll. She's very, very happy about her thumbnail game. Of course, check out our Fanspeak Degen Substack. It's less than $30 a year with the 20% off link here. And it's all year round, not just best ball stuff, including our best ball guide, but plenty of in-season content as well. Mike, the thumbnail's on point. Perfect. It is a thirst trap turn off Steve's chest. Over 70 crowd will go wild when they're reading glasses on. No shot after killing this.
What you don't know is I sent them two pictures, and one of them was a Dylan Gabriel impersonation, and they chose the other option. So.
We got Mike in here. We got Perfectly Cromulent. We got Fantasy Monster in here. And, of course, WF for Mega. Good to see everyone. We're going to have some fun today. Talk some ball. Do some drafts. So, yeah, the contest that we're going to first draft today, and maybe we'll do two of them, depending on, what Chad thinks, what Hoohames thinks, is the pointer. It's an $11 contest, 20,000 total entries. It's a 7 max of $77. It's a 2 of 12, your standard 2 of 12, then a 1 of 6, and then a 1 of 3 to 188 seed final. It's already 20% filled, so I do need to get my drafts in. Top prize $40K. 5 people get $10K or more. 15 people get $1,000 or more. Not bad for maxing at $77. And of course, if you make finals, this is one of those. You make finals, you get your 77 back. You get your money back for making playoffs, and then if you get the semifinals, you get $30. So essentially, around 3 times your money.
I kind of had a little crash out the other day talking about how I absolutely hate and despise these new large finals. So I'm very happy we're getting one of the contests, the kind of that I like. This is why I came to why I like Underdog so much. Contests like this specifically.
Yeah, and this was something they released last year. They did more of these as the season went on. And I think these are the kind of contests, they're the happy medium where it's not the 1 of 10s, 1 of 12s, 1 of 16s in the playoff rounds. And it's also not the, 700 person final. So I feel like these are really good, strong contests. And, it's a simple, the number 7 max for $11. Those are kind of weird numbers, but it's $77, less than $100 to max this. 40K up top, so it's not even one of those where it's only 10K up top. Those are fine as well, and we'll get those kind of contests. But I like this as a very happy medium of a reasonable price point, reasonable max, good advance rates, and still at the same time at a pretty good top prize. I mean, 40K is a pretty solid top prize, and it's very attainable, much more attainable than, say, a puppy's 100K, in my opinion, albeit, you're spending twice as much per entry. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of these kind of contests. I'm fine them doing the mix, some of these 4 of 12s and whatever. But I like that they're still retaining these kind of contests as well.
Yeah, so like the Puppy 2, I love the pointer. So like what I was saying on the Puppy 2 is if you just make it 1 of 10, it takes that finals into half, right?
Yeah.
and it feels fine. I actually love the payout structure, like
Mhm.
how it is kind of top heavy, and then it's pretty flat for like 20 some people gets a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
But if you got to fight 750 people, like if it was just back to 1 of 10, like last year, yes, it's a lot harder to get there. But I would like my bullets to feel like they have a bigger chance. Is all.
Yeah, I, and I do think it was interesting because they obviously tweaked the
They did.
BBM,
Yeah.
but they still retain that whole like you make finals, you get your money back. They did not do that with the puppy. They tweaked it
Yeah.
and they changed that. I do wonder if they had done that, if people would have felt better about it. Like not minding the large final so much, but if 750 got 750,
I
I think people maybe would have been a bit more okay with it, would be my guess.
I don't think so. I think the people just don't like. This is what I think happened back in March. I think it was March. Hope
Mhm.
released that poll on X to which kind of final size do you want, right? Well,
Yeah.
whenever you release a poll on the internet,
It always goes well.
99% of the people are going to click the trolliest option possible. And the trolliest option possible is the one with the gigantic finals, in my opinion. I don't think people I think most of the people, like there were some people that want the large finals, but I think most of the people that click that just wanted that, like wanted to mess around and have fun with it. And that's nothing wrong with that, except that
Mhm.
they're actually using that information as information and not realizing, in my opinion, that it was mostly people just trolling.
Yeah, yeah. I do wonder because there were other options, and I do
Yeah.
wonder if they had done. I can't remember. I feel like one was like 1 of 8.
One was
and
1,500, and that one won.
Yeah, okay, that one was the crazy one.
Yeah.
So they didn't go there, but I did wonder. I'd have to do the math. Like
I believe.
could you have done it a little like 1 of 8, or something like that?
Yeah.
Instead of like the 1 of 10, 1 of 5.
Well,
I don't know.
I think a fun thing to do would be to make it 2 of 20, 2 of 20.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the complaints a lot of people have, is just double the size, but make it 2 of.
Mhm.
Like I think, or even make it 2 of 18, and then a slightly bigger finals. But you don't have you don't just get. You could still get in a bad pod where 3 teams have
Oh,
some
of course.
weeks, but that's still going to happen. But it's going to be lessened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do know now. This is before they did you get your full money back, but 2 years ago, the Puppy One was released as a different format. It was I'd have to go back and look exactly, but I want to say it was 2 of 10 in the second round, and then maybe 1 of 10. It was definitely, and you did not get fully your money back for finals, but then I think they went on this kick. We're gonna give everyone their full money back for finals, and there's positives there, but there are some negatives as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're exploring different things, but what I'm really glad is things like the Pitbull and Pointer have stayed the same.
Yeah,
those are two of the best contests I think that are out there.
And the Chow Chow needs to say the same.
Yeah, the Husky is another one.
Yeah, the Husky was like that. The Husky is like, I'm saving bankroll for Husky.
Yeah,
I'm hoping we get to. I wasn't able to max it because I didn't save bankroll last year. So
yeah, I think that's that might be their best structure, because it was like 3 of 12, and then I'd have to look at what the subsequent rounds were.
I'm not against them doing all these different structures, but it kind of looked like for a bit, and I know they said they weren't going to get rid of it, but like if all of the puppies are the weird wild structures, I'm just not going to do many puppies.
Yeah,
which is fine. Like it's fine. But I like, as long as those other ones, like the Dalmatian is amazing. Like as long as all of the random dog breeds stay the same, I think I'm good.
Yeah, they clearly changed the Pomeranian, and one thing I really don't mind is this like Frenchie Friday, like just doing awesome. Different structures there. Those have been a lot of fun. So yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of positives with how Underdog's approaching it. Obviously, there's going to be some pushback. It will be interesting if they do change the puppy at all, going forward. But overall, it's been pretty good, because if you also remember at this time last year, this was like a dead period, because they released like the Pitbull and like I think the Pug and one or two others, but most of June was just the Superflex puppy, because the regular puppy had finished, and the Schnauzer, the large Schnauzer was still kind of finishing up, and so they weren't releasing a lot. This year they're releasing a lot more, and I think that's a really positive sign.
Yeah, I think so. Last year, I think the Pointer wasn't released until mid to late August.
Yeah.
Alongside with the Husky. I think it was released. I think it was like the last week of the year, actually, something.
The Pointer was like, a week or two to go. Yeah.
This to me means I think they may release like 3 or 4 Pointers.
I wouldn't be surprised, because I think it got a lot of positive feedback. So
yeah. So right, that would be awesome.
Let's jump into this. We got JT checking in. Game tight, absolutely. Loving this contest. Smashing the like. Wanted posters on the thumbnail. Yeah, Meg had some AI fun on Steve the Husky Hammer. Yeah. All right, I'm going to count it down here. We're going to enter this in 10 seconds. Enter in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter.
So I did my first one last night. I pulled Terry McLaurin. I took Ashton Jeanty, Kenneth Walker. Then I took Zay Flowers. I pulled Terry McLaurin across, and I went double elite with Lamar, Jaden Daniels. I got both of them to fall back. It's a pretty fun team. Like it's a pretty fun team. I ended up with Laporta and Tucker Kraft, and my running back 3 is Gainwell still. So I went 6.
Good.
Like Gainwell, Rodriguez, Woody Marks, Emmett Johnson with Jeanty, Kenneth Walker. I had position limits on. I went to go to 9 receivers, and I autoed Emmett Johnson as a handcuff. But it was a pick 20. Is that pick 209? Then receivers,
No, I love that, actually, like handcuffing that.
Yeah, because I'm very invested in that. And then the wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, Godwin. I'm kind of thin. Travis Hunter, Denzel Boston, Jeremy Bernard. So because I did that, I went Darnell Mooney and Cooper Kupp. So I might be too thin there, but like this team is really fun. It's got it's got the bring back there with Travis Hunter. And we don't really worry about it that much in the Pointer, the 150 or what is it, 138 finals, 156, something like that.
188, I think.
188. That's right. Because it's 77, but it's 188. Yeah. So I hadn't tried to do the double elite, pull Zay up into the third and Terry up, but in this specific contest, it's probably going to be the only version of that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Like getting unique with at least one of your bullets in something like this, I think can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that it's like the wide receiver room was a little thin, and I really wanted that extra bullet at the 9th one there. I don't even remember who it was. It was some ugly veteran that was probably going to get like 6 4-point games. Like it was something I didn't feel great about. So when I autoed into a player I like and ended up being a handcuff at 209, like he fell 23 picks.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't really be upset about it.
No. So we got a good friends and family group here. Game Tight, Peanut Punch, Cromulent, Ladies First, JT, Buddy Man. We're in the 7 legions in here. If I'm missing anyone, let me know. But this feels fun. What do you like doing here at 7?
I'm Amon-Ra over JT at this point, but I'm fine with JT. And I'm very close to just having JT as my 6 or 8.
Okay.
As well. I'm fine either way.
Let's go Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Let's have some so the one thing I like about Amon-Ra the most, and I don't think it matters as much in something like this where the finals are smaller, but in the larger finals things, I really like taking Amon-Ra on this side of the board. Because you can almost guarantee to get Loveland back, and it gets you into that Week 17 game, which could be a really fun game. And I like both of them at price anyway. So it's 2 players I like at price, and it's 2 play. And I know you're not as big on these higher tight ends as I am, but I think that that's just a fun game to have access to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can appreciate that for sure. Sorry, Mike asking who's the ladies man and Buddy Man. Buddy Man is Mike McCulloch.
Okay.
Ladies man, I don't remember. All right, let's get back to the draft.
I don't think Mike's been in one of my drafts, so it's starting to get to the point to where the fam is so big that I'm having trouble remembering the names.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like it's finally starting to get there. It's a good problem to have.
So Legion asks the new note on Neighbors at 80% mark in the rehab process. What do you think on that?
I mean, I watched him try to run in that game, and that looked really bad, like really bad.
Right.
I'm either one. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter to me. I mean, we could go Chase Brown. Let's go Chase.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really like both. I'm very bullish on Kenneth Walker.
I'm bullish on both. Honestly, I'll just tell everybody, I'm fully okay just pulling Zay up and then trying to get Lamar back in the 5th and building that out. But I'm also just fine having Chase Brown. Like, he's a really good pick. That Week 17 game against Baltimore, I think that could be just a big scoring game. And the one thing we know is that they're going to score points. And I know P. Ryan kind of got in and mixed in a little bit last year, and some people are worried about that. But everybody got mixed in last year. Like,
Sure.
There were very, very few 80% workload guys,
Yeah.
And I know that Chase Brown's huge game, P. Ryan also got a touchdown in, and people are like, well, he doesn't have this. Just because P. Ryan got in on a 3rd and 4 at the 9-yard line and got a touchdown instead of a first down on the reception, that's not a negative thing for Chase Brown. That's a positive thing that they're calling good game script and good play calls and getting into the right situations.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, no. I mean, there's like 3 backs in the league that are 80% guys, and
yeah,
it's Chase Brown. I look at it, and we've talked about this a little bit before. He had 10 plus points in every game that Jake Browning didn't play the majority of the game.
Yeah.
That's a promising thing for me. There's very few backs who can say that.
That's ladies first, not ladies man.
Ladies first, yeah.
Ladies first is that's one of Nice and Blunt's friends.
Okay. I mean, I know I've seen them 100 times.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen them talk, but
what do you like to do here?
I mean, if Rice is available, I like Rice.
Okay.
I think that this is just his new price, but I think it's a really good thing. It also gets us into another offense. We could do like Zay probably doesn't make it back, but we can take our king. Like honestly, I want. Where do you think Scadabo finishes? Like, I get a feeling he's flipping. He's for sure going to flip Kyron Williams, and I think that him and Javonte. I think Javonte is going to flip Kyron here reasonably soon, and I think the Scadabo will flip Kyron soon. There seems to be a lot of sharp people like Fantasy Points, some other people like kind of a little worried about Blake Corum. Some of them.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to see some Kyron because the market, and I've done this before, like got scared off on Kyron because of the possibility of things. I just want to be at like 8%. I don't care the price. I'm just not going to fade it.
Yeah. I'm actually very little worried about Blake Corum because the thing is, if you look at Blake Corum, his production came all at the end of the season. And what also happened at the end of the season was no Devontae Adams. So they just relied on both backs more. And Kyron still had good games during basically all those weeks. So to me, Blake Corum, like his other games during the season were like blowout games. I think maybe the Cardinals game, he had like a touchdown and 780 yards, something like that. So I think Corum's fine, but why we've been fooled before about the Kyron is not going to be the guy anymore. I just don't see it.
What do you like here?
I like Terry or Mike Evans.
I'm fine with either one. I'm fine with Loveland as well. I'm like, Burden's hard to do.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Jaden back
in the 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like Terry feels so good because I know people. Will he drop in price if they sign Stephon Diggs? Probably, but do I think it should? No. I don't. I think that unless they traded for like George Pickens, I don't think it really matters at this point. Like maybe BTJ, like if they traded for Brian Thomas Jr. or something, like maybe in a situation like that Terry would fall in my eyes. But I also think they literally have nobody else.
Oh, I know. Like it is. It's honestly, they're more barren than they were 2 years ago when Terry went off, because 2 years ago they had Zach Ertz, and maybe Chig can be Zach Ertz, maybe. But
I'm betting on it.
I am too. But my point is, like, Zach Ertz was established. Zach Ertz also knew the offense. Like he came with Cliff Kingsbury, and in terms of like we're just talking fantasy points here. Like Zach Ertz was clearly going to be a red zone touchdown threat. Chig has never done that. I'm hoping, you and I are both hoping that changes this year, but he has like 5 total touchdowns in his career.
They don't have any big receivers.
Yeah. So
none.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless Burks ends up being the red zone threat.
Yeah. So Terry should, easily have the targets to support 10 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
And yes, they have Rashard White, but he's not the same as Austin Eckler. So I feel like they have less weapons than they did 2 years ago when Terry went off. Could that change with Diggs? Sure. But I just think Terry is just so set in, as long as Jane can stay healthy, they're going to have, and Terry stay healthy because he got banged up last year as well.
Yeah, right. And we never really seen him with Jaden Daniels at all last year, right? Was there a single game they played together? Because he was banged up at the beginning of the season, then Jaden got out.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe they played like a game together, but like I think that might have been the game Jaden got hurt in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think is what happened.
Were you here?
Is Tootin still on the board? No.
No.
All right. Do we just take? Let's just go Adams. Let's just go Adams. I think it's fine. Like, I'm not that worried about it. So, what's your thought on heavy receiver in this contest versus others? Like, I think with the structure of you still got to get out of the 2 of 12, right?
Yeah.
But then, like the 1 of 3, it feels like having this strong receiver room doesn't feel as hard to get out of in a 1 of 3, because you may end up into a pod that it's also like trying to cobble together some running backs. And I think that this group of wide receivers is kind of, as long as they're healthy, it's like a guaranteed solid floor, like, of points for the flex.
Oh, I mean, obviously a few question marks with like Rice and Perry and even Adams, but we know when they're on, and of course Amon-Ra is Mr. number 3 wide receiver. Yeah. So we just have a real possibility of having 3 or 4 top 10, top 12 wide receivers from this bunch.
Yeah, and I kind of like the run. I don't like the running backs in this round unless Price somehow fell, but. I like the running backs in rounds 7 and 8.
Legion stole Jaden from us, but that's fine.
It's all good.
I mean, we could go Burrow with just the Chase Brown. We could go Drake May.
I think we just go Drake May.
Yeah, that'd be my lean as well.
I'm going to be very, very low on, like, I think it's May or Tyler Warren. So I think that's kind of where I would have leaned there. Like if we can't get May, I don't want to pull Chuba up. I think it's too early. We're probably not going to get Pollard back, but or Stevenson, but like they have a chance to fall back to where we're at.
Yeah.
And it's too, like, Drake May versus those guys. Like, it's a very easy click Drake May every time.
Well, and I know we've both talked about this before, but it's been a while. But like the BBM started, or the big board started with Drake May just priced way too high, and now he's fallen to a point where a lot of times Burrow goes ahead of him, sometimes Caleb goes ahead of him, sometimes Hurts goes ahead of him. This is a guy who absolutely was one of the elite quarterbacks last year. And sometimes he goes as like the 7th quarterback, and all they've done is add an elite receiver for him, and their offensive line probably getting better. I'm going to have a lot of Drake May.
Did you hear the report that this entire offseason, Travion Henderson has done nothing but work on pass blocking?
I mean, he needs to. And
I mean, he came out of college as a really good pass blocker, and he come to the NFL and he kind of got small boyed. He just kind of got wrecked. It's like, hey, you need to put on some muscle, kid, like kind of thing.
But I think also it was one of those things where you kind of saw it, like some of those early games, like he had some bad plays, he had a bad holding call that I recall, maybe 3 or 4, and he started losing some time, and I think it started getting into his head. Like he just didn't seem decisive in making his blocks, and they kept not keeping him on the field.
Do we just pull up Dowdle, or is Dowdle gone?
Dowdle is gone.
All right, go back. Tucker Kraft. Do you like Tucker Kraft?
I do.
Let's do that. Hey, wait, Caleb's here? We don't have a stacking.
Yeah.
Man, if we would have taken Loveland, this would have been so good.
Yeah, no, that would have worked out.
That would have been so good. But we also, like, that changes what everybody else picks, and doesn't mean that we get him here. So, like, I'm not really that worried with full anchor Chase Brown. I honestly.
No, because I do think the middle rounds, and to my point on Corum before, like I still want to take some Corum, but I don't think he's a massive worry to Kyron. But like Dobbins, Gainwell, the Washington backs, Rodriguez, like Aaron Jones, Mason. Where are you on this whole Chris Rodriguez foot injury concern?
Supposedly there was like semi-positive news off of it yesterday. I mean, I think that it's one of those, you just don't want you want to be out there as a veteran to not let the second year guy get more reps to get shown what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, if that player is good, if that player is not good, I guess it's kind of positive.
Do you think it's interesting we don't hear as much about JCM not practicing?
I think about it all the time. I moved Katron Allen to 175.
Yeah.
I was going to recommend RJ Harvey here, actually.
Yeah, he just went. I mean, I think it would have been a fine click here.
I think we just go Mahomes, right?
Yeah, with Rice.
Yeah. And and just push it, like, be done at Mahomes plus Drake May. Our bye weeks are fine. We could push tight end 2 pretty far. Like, I'm fine with like a Kraft Juwan Johnson team or something.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. So we're going to have extra spots. So this is probably going to be a 2-7-8-2 or 2-7-7-2. 2-7-7-2.
That's
maybe?
what I'm thinking. I think it depends on what our next running backs are, but probably.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Like, I mean, we don't need 8 receivers. I mean, we're pretty strong at receiver. So
Yeah.
And I think our bye weeks are good at receiver too, because
Yep. Yeah, everyone's different.
yeah.
So we'll always have 3 of those guys, assuming
Yep.
health.
Yeah, right. So I think we're honestly positioned very well for now. Do I love those last round? I kind of feel like the next 5 picks may just be running backs, like in a row.
It could. Probably at least 4 of them, I'd
Yeah.
say.
And I think that it's 50-50 in 3 rounds from now if we get a player that I really like or not. It just depends on how the room's going. But sometimes I think there's kind of a clear cutoff at a certain point. But yeah, we could basically shut off all the other positions.
Yeah.
And just kind of look at it. I mean, I know you're not up for the double high tight end, but like,
I mean, I'd take it if it falls. Yeah.
If it fell, like,
but what do you want to do?
I think Brooks is pretty clearly the bet here. We need upside. He's a potential starter. He's going to at least, at minimum, get touches every week. So I think that he's kind of the clear bet there. What's your take on Jonathan Brooks now?
I am worried that he's getting to a price that it's a little uncomfortable. Pick 100, just because now, granted, this is kind of a dead zone at running back, but like for me, like you said, those tight ends here, like Laporta, Kyle Pitts, I think those are very, these are guys with not just like starting tight ends, but and top 10 upside, but Laporta could be top 5. I mean, Kyle Pitts could be top 5. So I do think you start to figure out there. And then it's like the last range of like receivers we feel really good about outside of a handful of guys there. Now for this team build, I think it makes sense. But in general, I liked Brooks when he was going more in the 120s.
I think that all of the players that I like have moved up considerably, and it's making these drafts harder. Like, I have a bag of Gainwell. I have a bag of Jonathan Brooks. I have bags of a lot of these players that have moved up like 3 full rounds. So like it's good overall for me, but it makes the rest of the summer feel a little worse.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kyle Pitts makes it, we just take him, right?
Yeah, I think that's
just, and then we deal with the consequences later.
Now, the only concern is it is same buy, so we would have to
eat 4 points.
Yeah. The other thing is,
luckily we don't have to worry about it.
Do we want to go receiver here, Romeo Doubs for the stack?
I don't really think so.
So what are you leaning?
Did Rachaad White go already? I think he did.
He did.
All right, let's your choice of Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason.
I think we go Jones. I think Jones has more, like for this build, has more upside.
Right. I'm not out on Rodriguez, by the way, but I see him fall to the 130s, and I just say you never take him right now until he starts not falling to the 130s at this price, because I think there's a better chance that Rodriguez fell back to us than Aaron Jones.
For sure.
So,
and I already have plenty of Rodriguez. I think it's I just find it interesting how much consternation about Chris Rodriguez not practicing when another back drafted in a similar range, JCM, has not practiced, and there's no reports on him. From the Washington beat reporters. Like I saw John Keim, ESPN's Washington beat reporter, longtime Washington beat reporter, probably one of the best there is. And he had a report today saying that there's no news. Like they are not giving any news about the injury. That's not good.
Yeah, that is the exact situation of Joe Mixon last year.
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, he's still out of practice. We'll give you more when we get more. Well, okay. And then you started hearing rumors about things being early. I don't think that that's what's going on, but I do think that it's the whole you want to keep. All right, so is Dobbs still there?
Dobbs is, yeah. I think with the fall,
right. Yeah, I don't want to, but yeah, let's just do it. It is a double by week 11, but like it's fine.
It is, but that's fine. Like I think as long as the other ones don't have week 11, we're obviously totally fine there.
Yeah.
And the thing with Dobbs is, even with AJ Brown, again, this was one of the best passing units, most efficient passing units last year, and they didn't have a ton of volume. I think they're going to have more volume this year. May ascending, more weapons. But the other thing is, and we talked about this when we were, doing games for the first, 2/3, 3/4 of the year last year. There are so many games where they just stopped throwing. They just absolutely stopped throwing because they were up 20 points, 30 points. I remember it was the Panthers game that they won like 42-0 or whatever. And
it was like the second half, the entire second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, May, I think, had 3 pass attempts in the second half and not a single one in the fourth quarter. Like, like that's going to happen less with their schedule getting tougher. So I just think there's going to be a lot more out there for the passing tech, especially with these weapons. Now, I know there's still the reports that maybe they could get interested in Diggs again and all that. That would be bad for Romeo Doubs. But to me, when they pay a guy $20 million, they're probably going to use him a decent amount.
Hit a tight end. Is that Goddard available?
Yeah.
Goddard, Kincaid. Are you in on Kincaid?
I mean, definitely when I'm taking Allen, I like Kincaid. But it is a 10-pick fall.
Do we want to just do the Kincaid thing and be done there with 2 injury issue guys?
I think I'd be more in Goddard for that reason.
Let's do that. I think at this point, like, we know we're not going to flex running back most weeks.
Yeah.
So filling out that pick with Dobbs and then securing the Goddard pick to assist our flex points to be higher kind of makes some sense. We know we're throwing 7 darts at running back. Yeah. So I think that since everybody is already like just absolutely ate all these running backs, right? So that means that nobody else is going to be fighting us, or not as many people are going to be fighting us at running back, unless we have a couple guys going 8 for no reason with heavy running backs up top. So I think securing down the positions we're already strong at and then hopefully finding value later at running back is the move. Now, it may not work out, but I think that when you're in this situation, you want to make that bet. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's better than us forcing and pulling up, Isaiah Pacheco there, who I think was the next running back.
Yeah.
Like these backs, they have a role, or maybe Pacheco wasn't next. I'll get to ADP, he was. And we still could get him.
Right.
Do you want to go with Pacheco? Like, who do you want to go with?
I mean, Pacheco or Algier is fine here.
Let's go Algier. We already have 2 week 6 backs.
Let's do that.
So.
Yeah. And like Algier is gonna. I don't really love the pick. I have more of them than I thought I would. Because I like Algier as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Bros versus Pros has had the best reason. It's like all the toot and slappy just want reasons to tell himself he's the RB1. And I mean, I'm an anti-JCM slappy, like everything but JCM kind of. But I will say I've seen JCM at 140, and it's pretty tempting.
Yeah, no, at the right price, I think everyone has value. I did want to answer this. Triath says he's incredible profile to get on one of the most high-powered, innovative offenses, has comical competition. I actually don't know if that's true because his competition, Chris Rodriguez, has actually outperformed him in the NFL and actually outperformed him in college and at a higher level in college.
I believe over the last 2 years, like C-Rod, I know he's top 5 in yards after contact. I think he's like top 1. I think he's number 1 over like the last 2 year sample.
It might be. And obviously the sample is smaller for him, but
right.
every year that he's gotten a chance on the field, he's produced. And like Tootin had that same opportunity this past year in a very great offense, as was pointed out, and actually did not produce. Tootin, for all his explosive ability, had one play of 15 or more yards, and it went 15 yards.
I'm Sean Tucker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of good with anyone but Charbonnet. So if you want to go Tucker,
I think we just pour on the Bucky Irving hate. Just pour it on.
I don't mind it because I know FK is a little higher on Bucky, or he's at least buying the dip. And
when he hits so as soon as Tootin's off the board, I like him more than Price. I do think Price is a hard price for me, and I think that I'm okay taking some. I haven't had that opportunity. I've seen a lot of other people get him down there. I'm always on the left side of the board when he falls back to the 6th. But I'm probably going to take him every time he goes to the 6th, at least for now.
Yeah. And just the one thing I wanted to say, the last thing about Tootin is his athletic profile is great, but athletic profile does not mean a ton for running backs. It does for like the very top end, but that also mirrors, the Bijans, the CMCs, the Jahmyr Gibbs, but that also mirrors with like good production profile. And that's something Tootin never had, is a great production profile.
He looks really good in shorts.
Well, I said this before, is he had one of the higher yards after contact in college, but he also had one of the highest stuff rates. So it was feast or famine. It was a 60-yard touchdown or it was a 3-yard loss.
I like Brian Robinson here. I like Emmett Johnson. We could.
Let's go Brian Robinson. I think we could maybe get Emmett Johnson to come back. Yeah. He has been falling. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people in this draft. Maybe they grab one. They grab this year. But
I have plenty of Emmett. I have plenty of Emmett. Emmett's that player that's at the top of my queue all the time, and I'm like, not again. It's not that we haven't heard anything negative or positive.
But I think you and I we both had a good pre-draft stand, and then right now their backups are DeMarcardo and Rashard Smith, and Emmett Johnson does those things better, in my opinion, and more.
He does. But at the same time, like, I'm also betting on Kenneth Walker, and I don't think I want like 20% of one and 12% of the higher, because I don't want to root for Walker to get hurt.
Yeah, I guess I also think, like, especially in this draft range, 160 or below, Emmett Johnson, Kenneth Walker doesn't even need to miss a game, and Emmett Johnson can easily pay off this ADP.
No. Are you in on Singleton?
Not so much. Like, this is one I want. I think it's going to be a camp battle, him and Spears for a camp battle. And it's one I want to watch, but I don't think it's as clear cut as, say, like Emmett Johnson or even Katron Allen
he's getting so much buzz right now. And somebody was asking me about it yesterday, and it was 2 days ago, and I'm like, it's not a shock that he looks awesome in shorts.
Yeah.
Like, if he's healthy, he was always going to look good at this point of the thing, because you don't have to have vision, you don't have to do anything, you're not getting touched, you're not like, and the vision's the part of the game I don't think he has. So for me, this part doesn't matter yet. It's not a negative sign though. Like, do we want to do Emmett here?
I would do Emmett, Kamara, or Katron would be.
I was gonna say Katron or Emmett, either one.
Let's do Katron.
I'm up to 16% Katron, by the way, because I basically just moved my Emmett stand to Katron. So, and I like Katron. So I went back and looked at my very first pre-draft draft. I took Katron Allen on 112.
Yeah.
And it's like, that might end up working out. I don't know. Like, it's going to be funny if every single year, like next year, the Commanders spent a 5th round pick on a running back.
Yeah,
You know,
they just keep
every
moving up.
year it's one round ahead, and like we got the people from the previous year, like that.
Yeah,
We're like, oh yeah, I love that guy. He ain't losing his job, and he loses his job, and the people that's betting forward win. But like whenever we bet on, like, let's say that it happens this year and K-Tron's big smash, and then they do it next year, like the people who won with K-Tron, most of those people are going to still like him, you know?
yeah.
Uh,
JB, good to see you. Do you think we get a point or two? Hoohames mentioned this earlier. He thinks so, and I tend to agree with them dropping it this early.
Yeah, because last year they didn't drop this till like one of the last weeks of the season. So I honestly think that may be their goal with the puppies, to just all the puppies just be randomized, like random trash. They know the puppies are going to fill no matter
What receiver do you want to go with here?
Let's go Franklin or Bryant. Pick one.
Let's do Franklin. I do probably need more Bryant, but I just like Franklin a little bit more.
Hey, you're up on a slow.
I'm sure I'm up on the slow.
Is that what the buzz is?
No.
Okay.
That was a friend calling me.
Oh, I figured it was up on a slow. Now, by the way, Franklin is the bring back on New England.
Yeah.
So
I think either makes sense. I want to have a percentage of both.
Coolers and I are on the other side of this. We're both on, and in my Discord yesterday, we were discussing, it's like, I don't want to be 4-1 on one side or the other.
Yeah.
I want to be more like, I think being 2x a guy is fine. I don't think being 16% Pat Bryant and 3% Troy Franklin is the move. I don't think that, like pre-draft, I think I was 16% Bryant and 7% Franklin, and that feels about right.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a bet, and I've said this a lot. I think that's a bet in a spot that wide receiver 3 is going to be pretty valuable in fantasy.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to point out, is this is a team. There's so many teams where we're like, oh, the tight end has now become like the wide receiver 3 option because they're going to 2 tight end, and the Broncos, I'm sure, will have their level of 12 personnel, but they don't have tight ends that scare us in terms of catching the ball. Like combined, their tight ends are probably going to have less production than 20, 25, starting tight ends in this league. So yeah, I think the third wide receiver, even if it's a split role, is going to have a lot of decent fantasy days.
Do you want to do Kayshon Boutte?
I don't mind it. I still think he's moving on probably, but
right. But if he doesn't move on, he's a stack, and if he moves on, he's a good pick.
Yeah.
So I think that it kind of makes sense here. I don't think he's going to get drafted that often in this contest either.
Yeah, I was gonna, because I have very little Jerry Jeudy. I was gonna consider Jerry Jeudy because
I would have been okay with that. This is actually
round is pretty wild.
To be honest, this is the exact spot that if you're going to take an Ayuk shot, this is where you take it.
Yeah,
like I've clicked Ayuk a couple times the last week in the last round. I don't like it.
I've done like 2 also.
One of my favorite DK teams, it was like pretty loaded all the way through. And at 236, Ayuk is sitting there. And I'm like, his ADP is 175 on DK. I'm like, all right, I guess. Like, I don't think it really matters if he misses on this team. So, but if he hits, it's an absolute smash. And if it's solid already, then you should be solid in round 20. But
yeah, no, let me catch up with chat some, and then we'll go over these teams. Sierra has bounced back and forth from practice squad. Yes, Cohen will maximize his limited skill set. Tootin's explosive profile and getting a year to acclimate is great bet, in my opinion. KW3 on Jacksonville. I'm in. Maybe I don't know. I think the problem is I don't know if we know if Cohen likes him. Like, we know James Gladstone likes him. I don't know if we know for sure that Cohen likes him, because Cohen went out and got his guy C-Rod.
Well, do you remember the stuff during the draft?
Oh yeah.
Like people don't remember the RJ Harvey clip coming out of Jacksonville, not Denver,
not
but
Denver.
Jacksonville. Like they were not Gladstone, but everyone else was upset that Harvey went. The coaching staff wanted Harvey, and it was very visible. Like nobody brings that up anymore. And that, like, I'm actually pretty heavy on Tootin right now, but like, you're not wrong. Like, there is definitely worry. I just want to be in on whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess I just have, because the bet has gotten closer with C-Rod moving up, but when I see big shifts between two backs like that, and there's not a clear start, like obviously there's a clear starter, that's one thing. But I feel like the market is baking into a lot of things that it's like facts, not in evidence. Like, that the team loves him or anything. And I get the point, like C-Rod has bounced back and forth between practice squad. My point is when he's been on the football field, he's been good. And that even goes back to his rookie year. And
he's the biggest negative is he's got 13 career receptions.
Yeah, but Tootin's not
6.
Tootin's not a pass catcher either. Like you go back to his college profile, he had more drops than Quentin Johnston. And that's saying something. So I think people see fast guy, and he got a lot of hype last year, and they think it's just transferring over, but he was honestly bad last year. Like not effective really at all. And maybe that changes. That absolutely could change. Like you just made the point, Travion Henderson's really working on things that could, and that's why I want to have some percentage of Tootin. But I think people are just obsessed with him, thinking like he's going to be the next great thing. And he could, but I don't think there's a lot of evidence there for it. Since it's a very wide open backfield, I think it's good to have, a market position on him. I wouldn't want 0, but I also, it's not one where I'd want to have like 12, 15%, because even just like opportunity cost of the backs who go behind him, Tony Pollard, Jadarian Price is in that same range. Like you said, sometimes even Bucky's going behind him. I mean, Rico Dowdle, back-to-back 1,200-yard years is going well behind him. It feels too expensive in my opinion. But I just think I would. That's one I'd definitely be balancing out both running backs on. Mike saying he's getting ready to party with his last pick. We'll check that out in a second. Mike Rob saying 42% Iron Man or 1% Ridley, 0% DK. I'm doing it right. DJ Quo asking if you drafted Ingram at all. Like, I don't know.
No. Like
two or three times. I mean, just very, very rarely.
I think I've taken more Jolie.
Yeah.
Like, only in 20-round formats. Like, and I'm not touching either one of them yet. Like, and I think it's too early to draft Jolie, honestly. But I've done it in the one, like I did it in the puppy one, because it could be like a very low owned pick, right?
Yeah.
So I think that when a contest is closing, like throwing a Jolie on there is probably better than the Evan Ingram, because I think the masses are doing Evan Ingram if they're going to stack it, and nobody's really doing Jolie, or not as many.
Game Tight wanted Judy as his last pick, but it looks like Peanut sniped him.
Yeah.
Yes, phrasing. Frankly, Jacksonville probably missing Bigsby. But yeah, I think I could see that as well.
Maybe they trade for Will Shipley.
Yeah, they could. Chaz, we're too dismissive of bad rookie years. Players get better as long as they're taking their job seriously. We should go back to the well on rookie profiles we liked. Well, I guess that's part of my problem is I don't think
you didn't like him.
Tootin to me didn't have a good rookie profile. Like if you watched his game film, it was one explosive run, usually against bad competition, and then dropping balls, fumbling. He had major fumbling issues. Fumbling issues is one of the most predictive factors in a bust in a prospect. There's real good data on that.
So I think that he had an okay draft profile, but by okay, I don't mean third round.
Yeah.
I don't mean fourth round. I thought he was like a mid to late fifth with high upside.
Yeah.
And whenever he ran at the combine, and that's the same thing I thought with Mike Washington.
Yep. No, I've comped them very similarly because they have very similar profiles.
Yeah. And I'm not out on that style of player, but Mike Washington got drafted where Tootin should have.
Yeah.
basically.
No, and that's just kind of where it boils down to is they're fun prospects, but their hit rate is much less than people think. Guys with like explosive ability, but not like they're not great pass catchers, and they have major fumbling issues, they have major vision issues. Sometimes those things get corrected, absolutely. And like you said, like if he takes it seriously, he absolutely could correct those issues.
Right.
It's just historically we don't see that at a high rate. It's my first Chase Zay Burden team. Nice. Judy had a crazy fall. Yeah, that is. I'm pretty out on the Browns, but I think their receivers go at good values, especially Judy falling to the 18th round. Just a best ball tendency I've noticed in my 2 seasons. And I guess like this is part of my thing, and as Hoohames knows, like I was never a big Tootin guy last year, pre-draft, draft. And of course this year as well. So I do agree. Like if you were super high on him pre-draft, then I would not fully be out at all. Yeah. But let's review some teams real quick, and then we'll get into another draft. And I'll leave it up to chat. Like I mentioned doing like a field general, especially knowing Hoohames loves Superflex, but I'm open to doing another pointer also.
We could do whatever. Mike wanted you to show the board.
Yeah, I think I did. Let me just do it one more time because I know he's doing this, tracking these drafts, which is incredible. All right. So our team, just to recap it real quick: May, Mahomes, running back room: Chase Brown, Jonathan Brooks, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier, Sean Tucker, Brian Robinson, Katron Allen. Receiver room: Amon-Ra, Rashee Rice, Terry, Devontae Adams, Romeo Doubs, Troy Franklin, and Kayshon Boutte. And then finally tight end room of Tucker Kraft, Dallas Goedert.
It's not like I will say it's not like my favorite team of all time, but I do think like all the running backs at every point went way early in this, like way early. But our wide receiver room is absolute fire. Like it is very good. And we have the anchor there. And if Jonathan Brooks is a solid guy and Sean Tucker steals a bunch of goal line touchdowns and Algier does, like we have the kind of room that could get us through. Yeah.
I think like you said during this draft, we're not going to get the flex much from this running back room. The biggest question is, do we get enough RB2 scores? Because like I said, like the good news with Chase Brown, I do believe that he is, pretty consistent. We saw this last year. So he can be our RB1, week in, week out. But do we have enough RB2 scores from this group? I think a lot depends on Brooks and Aaron Jones' health, to be honest.
Yeah.
So let's quickly look at some other teams.
I will say that based on how that draft went, JT in the first and into Chase Brown would have been absolute fire through that draft.
Yeah.
Just by the way that the draft fell. I think that we made the wrong first round pick.
Yeah. If it was that, I do think it would be a much more improved team.
No offense to Amon-Ra. I like Amon-Ra more.
Yeah.
But like in that specific room, I think it would have looked better.
Yeah, with how the rest of the draft fell to us, I agree.
Right. Yeah.
So game type goes Hurts, Malik Willis, two quarterbacks with big time rushing upside. Bijan, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, DeAndre Swift. So 4 running backs early in top 50, and then tacked on Jordan Mason, Chris Olave, Mekhi Lemon, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, still 4 in the top 100. And then Flournoy, Denzel Boston, Malik Washington, Dontavian Wicks, and Caleb Douglas. So getting some Miami stacks, extra Philly, and then tight ends Likely and Chig. So, kind of like an anchor wide receiver, a lot of stacks and correlation overall for the room. I think it's well built. You're going to get ideally your flex from the running back room. You have 2 quarterbacks with big time upside, 2 tight ends that you feel good about.
Yeah.
Most weeks you're only going to need 3 wide receivers. So I actually think this turns out pretty well.
Yeah. Mason helps you in the flex and covers the week 11 bye.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's one of those teams you could have stopped and just try to ride those 2 running backs for week 11, or you could add him and like enforce your flex a little and be a little safer. I think it was a solid pick there.
Yeah.
But if that was a wide receiver, I don't know if that would be better or worse overall, but I think it's a solid build, like you said.
Yeah, well, and I think most weeks you're having 3 wide receivers.
Yeah.
I think these top 4 can handle that a lot of the time, and then you got like floor upside, like just kind of down the board. I'm not the biggest fan of the Miami receiver room, but it's correlated, and probably somebody emerges from it.
Supposedly, he's throwing for 3,000 yards. Somebody's got to catch the ball.
Yeah. And maybe it's all Devon A-Chain, but
yeah. So somebody's got to catch the ball. Like,
all right. So we had Peanut Punch in here, 2673, Dak, Goff, Gibbs, Travion, Chuba, Tank Bigsby, Emma Johnson. Got a nice fall on Emma Johnson also, and Ray Davis. Receiver room, London, Pickens, J-Mo, Xavier Worthy. So 4 in the top 100, Travis Hunter, Trey Tucker, and Jerry Jeudy, which is just kind of a ridiculous fall in my opinion.
I mean, Judy's perfect there with the Tucker, Travis Hunter, Xavier Worthy, J-Mo. Like, I think that's a really well built wide receiver room.
And then tight end also, like Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, and then taking the young gun who falls, to 170. Like, I generally have a tough time taking Sadiq at in the 150s, just because usually there's another tight end I'd rather have there, like Chig or Hunter Henry. But yeah, 170, that feels like a really good price for him.
I feel like Sadiq should go after, like, in between Hawkinson and the rest of that group. Like Juwan Johnson, Hunter Henry, Brenton Strange, Chig. Like, I think all of those should go ahead of him pretty much every draft.
I'm kind of agreeing, man. I think it's a toss up between him and Hawkinson, probably, is kind of where I'm at. Cromulent in here, 3573. Burrow, Shuck, Bryce Young, 3 clear starters, 3 different buys, all, some little falls for Burrow and Young as well. Love, Tootin, Pollard, JCM, Dylan Sampson. Potentially 4 starting backs. 2 are a bit more murky, but I don't mind that because you have Love and Pollard. Like, if they end up being more, split backfields, then it's still probably fine. I think Sampson is a fine pick, where he's going. And then Chase, Zay, Luther Burden, he said this is the first time you get the 3 combo. Tacked on Addison and Pearsall, so 5 in the top 100. I think it's a strong wide receiver room. And tacking on Mitchell and Brazil is like spike week guys. So I think that room is pretty strong. Can obviously get three guys pretty well. And that's the other thing. If you are taking some of these riskier plays like Tootin and JCM, this is when I like to do it. A, you're still probably pretty covered at running back, and B, like, your flex can come out of this room. So if that ends up being a Love and Pollard running back room, you can still be fine because you'll probably get enough points from the receiver room. And then tight end wise, Gadsden, Juwan Johnson, and Greg Dulcich. I think that works well. I mean, not heavy investment, and overall, I think that's a fine tight end room for this type of contest, especially as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Ladies First is a member. I
don't think Ladies First is like ever chats. Like every once in a while.
Yeah. But JT and Buddy Man, so we'll go over, and Legion, we'll go over those teams real quick. JT 2682, Allen, Rogers. I think that's completely fine to just have Rogers as your chaperone for Josh Allen. Christian McCaffrey, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Rodriguez. He kept taking all of our running backs that we were looking for. Rico, Dobbins, Rodriguez, Kamara, Helani. Helani's a guy who's not getting drafted every time. I think it makes a lot of sense to mix in.
I'm actually up to 6% Halani and Superflex. I've taken him I've been taking him every draft at the very end because he wasn't drafted for the first 70% of the contest.
Yeah. No, so, that's very smart. And same thing here. Like he's going to be drafted in this 2% of the time. Like it's going to be very low for contests like this. Now something like BBM, because you might get later news, and in August drafts he might be drafted in every single one. But something like this, he's going to be drafted very, very little. So I like taking a couple of those shots. Wide receiver, Nico Collins, Christian Watson, Parker Washington, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Jalen Naylor, and Jaron Bernard and Cooper Kupp. I think the start of it, Nico Watson are very good. Parker Washington obviously depends on what side of the debate you're on it, but this Jacksonville offense is good. It might not be the most efficiently priced, but I think we all want pieces from it. Godwin, Shakir, so you're plenty covered if the Washington bet is not great. I love the Jalen Naylor call, and Jaron Bernard as well, and then Cooper Kupp. I mean, just again, not a ceiling guy, but it could be a very solid floor guy. And for a contest like this, where we're not needing, you want to get through, and so I think he can help in that regard. But B, in the playoff weeks, like you just want a guy who can get you 10 points, right? And
I actually don't like Kupp on this team.
In this contest or in this specific team?
On this specific team.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is there are a lot of those already on this team. Like if Shakir's already fills that role, probably Jaron Bernard fills that role.
Like if Shakir was like Travis Hunter, or Parker Washington was BTJ, like I would love the Cooper Kupp. But you have so many of those style of players already. Yeah. And because Godwin is one of those two, right? Like those three are already that style of player. I personally would have liked an upside player there. It's still fine. It's still fine. He's still going to give you some usable weeks. Yeah. I probably, and this, and I think you were going to kind of say it, like it's only a 188 seat final. So like you don't need as big of upside either. Yeah. And it's a 1 of 3 in week 16. So you don't really need that giant upside, but you might.
Yeah, no, and like the draft that we just looked at that had like AD Mitchell and Brazil at the end, I would probably have favored this because of, like you said, like one of those versus Kupp. But at the same time, for this kind of contest, like I would personally rather take Kupp than a guy who might not play at all. So if that's like where you're at from the decisions standpoint.
Like Kupp's definitely gonna I've taken a bunch of Kupp, but I also believe Torrey Horton's going to be on the field a bunch this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I only take Kupp on teams I think I need points early in the season.
That makes sense.
That's just the way I'm viewing it. If I get more, I get more. Great.
Yeah, and then I think you're going to like this tight end.
I love this tight end room.
Loveland and Kincaid, especially with Josh Allen.
I mean, overall, that's a fantastic team.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is a very tough room.
Like the Cooper Kupp thing is like a very minor, like little tweak that I personally would have done different. It's not wrong. Like it's absolutely not wrong.
Yep. So Buddy Man here, 3582, Baker, Daniel Jones, Jameis Winston. I mean, Jackson Dart is Mr. Blue Tent Man. So there's very live that Jameis Winston is playing at some point next year. Jonathan Taylor, A-Chain, Kyron Williams, Kyle Monangai, Jonah Coleman, very strong running back room.
Could have stopped at 4 pretty easily.
Yeah, I think you could have.
You don't have to, but you could have. Yeah.
It's, I think Monangai's like that. Like he'll have usable weeks. He can be fine, but it's not like clear 4 starters. So I get tacking on one more. Mbuka, DJ Moore, Alec Pierce, Casey Concepcion, Antonio Williams, Ted Hurst, Darnell Mooney, Chris Bell. So, receivers a little thin with only 3 in the top 100, though I do think Concepcion, 128, I think that's crazy for a guy who his draft capital, his potential, even on a bad offense, he can easily hit this. And then Tyler Warren, Sam Laporta, that's a very fantastic tight end room, and will also help covering your flex because you're probably not getting a ton of receiver flex points. So it's like, and it had to come from the running back and also come from, those tight ends.
Very solid team.
Yeah. And then finally, we got Legion in here. Jaden, Dart, Bo Nix, very strong quarterback room, ton of upside there. Saquon, he went the 4 running back. Saquon, Scattaboo, Jacobs, Bucky. Assuming everything's okay with Scattaboo and injury, Jacobs,
I mean, that is an insane room if all news is fake.
Yeah.
If all news is fake, that's like you just won it all. Like
if Scattaboo and Bucky are fully healthy and Jacobs is not in jail, that's a pretty good room.
Yeah, that's a really good room.
You also have Justin Jefferson. So yeah, I mean, this is just betting on news. Like if Diggs gets a good landing spot, Sutton, Myers, Shaheed, Debo. This
all news is fake.
Well, it's just like all gas, no brakes, type of draft. Like if this hits, it's going to be tough to beat. That's for sure. So then Brenton Strange, Pat Fryermuth, Colby Parkinson, I mean, honestly, I don't think there's actually much risk in the wide receiver room. I think both Diggs and Debo get landing spots. I think Sutton and Myers probably go too late as it is.
They're very like Jefferson, Sutton, Myers is such a big floor.
Yeah. And Shaheed can be a spike week guy. Trey Harris has big upside. Ridley is just probably going too late for where he's going. So it's an interesting build. A lot of upside. I mean, the big thing is, do these running backs, are they healthy? And I mean, I'm definitely betting on Scattaboo. The Bucky thing I'm worried about, but he's going to a point now. Like when he was going, top 35, that was insane.
I think that when, like, I'm tooting over Bucky, but I think once David Montgomery, TreVeyon Henderson are off the board, like, I think I'm fully okay taking Bucky around there, like middle of the 5th. If I need a running back, I think I'm okay doing it here and there. I haven't done it yet, but I think it's fine in that area, really.
Yeah, let me so it sounds like some people mentioned the pointer. Let me just catch up with chat. So I'll run another pointer again. Got No Cap Mac in here. Good to see you.
How many Superflex you got left?
Let me see.
I'm just curious. I've done all of mine fast. I got 26 left. This thing is filling like 4 to 5% a day.
Yeah.
I'm sad because I don't think it's going to be available for my Superflex on Sunday.
I have 35 left. So
I don't think it's going to be available for me on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to probably have to do a bunch more slow.
I'm probably going to multi-table off stream tonight.
And but I'm fine doing another pointer. I mean, this is going to fill pretty quickly also. It's already, this came out like yesterday evening and it's already 21% filled. So.
Well, so it takes 3,000 people to fill.
Yeah.
So it takes 3,000 people. Most of those people have done 4 or 5 of them. This is the same thing I was saying about the other content, the Pitbull. Wasn't the Pitbull? It was the other one.
Dachshund. Yeah.
The Dachshund, that it was going to take weeks. I think that this is gonna fill 60% like by middle Thursday, or by Thursday night, Friday afternoon. And I think that last bit is gonna take a while.
Yeah, probably. Because like you said, it does take 3,000. I do think you are getting the other thing with the Dachshund was that was so early after the draft like this. I do think now that we're getting into June and stuff, like you're going to start having more people out there drafting. I mean, we already see the Puppy 2 has not been out long and it is, 40% filled essentially. So
can you slow draft the pointer?
You can.
Okay. Yeah. That I'm just going to hope that it's available next week. And if it's not, I'm going to jump in some slows while I'm at work. That, like, if I see it's about to fill, like, I think that's just what I'm going to try to do. I don't want to do slows, but I'm not going to miss the contest either.
Yeah, no, it's a really good contest. Always good to see Goofy Chicken. Always good to see Joel in here. I appreciate everyone for dropping the likes. Mike Rob here. Helani popped up on the first time this year in the top 250 drafted today. And Paul answered a bit. Helani moving up with a new UD note, getting first team reps while Wilson is working with the third stringers. I think this is something you and I have talked about is Helani is, they like him there. And he's got a skill set that actually balances price a little bit more than Manuel Wilson.
I just want to say I drafted George Halani on in a bigger board on February 7th, I think it was. So just want to say that. Just want to shout that out.
Mike saying increased stacking seems like the way to go in this contest. I mean, I think you can make both sides of the argument. Like, yes, increased stacking because you're just trying to, you're not necessarily looking for the nuts points, and if you stack it right, and it's receivers who get 15 points versus 30 points with your quarterback, that kind of thing, that can work. But at the same time, like I wouldn't like pull up guys just to get stacks by too extreme of margins.
I kind of lean the opposite way. I think stacking matters way less.
I'm kind of in on that, but I understand what he's saying. Like stacking can help raise your floor quite a bit. Like if you take
so like the hardest thing to get through is the 2 of 12.
Yeah.
So you're building, like, in my opinion, you're building for the first 14 weeks and the finals, and you just kind of hope that everything else works out.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. But I do understand like stacking it raises your floor. I think the bigger thing is like the week 17 bringbacks, 188 person final. I'm just not too worried about that kind of stuff too often. He said he straight doesn't believe Dart is intelligent enough to stay healthy. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of his to the blue tent last year. I want my share of Dart, but oh boy. Paul is a gambler. I get it. You got to be in it to win it sometimes. Peanut noticed a lot of new blood in rooms this week. Yeah, I agree. I think more and more people are jumping in. But very top heavy payouts. I get that. Like, again, I think stacking is fine. It's just more to me, and this is any contest.
Like
the stacking is worse the more you have to pull somebody up to make it work. If you're pulling somebody up 18 spots to make it work, you probably lost all value you got from stacking.
Yeah.
Unless the ADP was just totally wrong, kind of thing. So let's jump into another draft. I'm going to count it down, and in 10 seconds, and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter.
Oh, look at that.
Fresh room. Going to be all of us. No, I might have gotten some people rug pulled and going in the one before.
Right, and that could mean it takes a minute to fill as well.
Yeah, still waiting on 5.
I waited for like 6-7 minutes the other day at this point, so it may take a bit to fill. So, which is fine. Like, there's plenty to talk about. Like, so back to the stacking and increasing the floor thing. I agree. I also think that part of the strength of stacking is getting like Drake May plus Kayshawn Booty through with the AJ Brown spike early, right? Like maybe like the Amon-Ra JMO thing with Goff. Like maybe Goff's what you need, but you need Amon-Ra in week 14 to get you through. Yeah. Like, I think the larger like a BBM, I think it matters more because the ability to push the opposite player through is more important. Like, because if what happens is you need a JMO, but Amon-Ra went off in week 16, you kind of needed both of them on your team. And I think that scenario is lessened because of the one of three, one of what is it, one of eight, one of three or something?
I think it's one of it is one of six, one of three.
One of
yeah,
six.
one of six. Yeah.
Okay. So like I just think that element is lessened, but it does increase the floor throughout the season to get through the 2 of 12.
Yeah.
So like it I'm not saying it's bad. I think that you're doing it for a different reason though.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think stacking helps the floor. And for your point is if you do it in like some of the bigger field stuff, it can create more unique combos for a bigger finals. But here, like that's not a real factor. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong ever with stacking. No, it's just to me, it's like when you're doing it to pull up a guy, you know, around 2 rounds above their ADP, like that's rarely going to work out for you.
Peanut is multi-tabling the pointer right now.
Yeah, Joel said the pre-flow was just pretty strong, or the underflow.
Nice. Underflow room stacked.
FK, it all so can decrease your floor, for example. Yeah, no, if you're wrong on the team, it's gonna drag it down for sure.
But I mean, we're also betting to be right.
Yeah.
So when it's wrong, it's one of your hundreds of bets and you're just trying to hit that one really good one.
Yeah, but I think the FK's point is like if you've made a wrong bet, and still maybe there's a good point. Like Vikings are tough because,
true.
You know, like they Jefferson wasn't even good at his price. Like he was good, he just wasn't good at his price. A better thing might be like the Eagles. Like you're right on Goddard, but you're wrong on everyone else. Then that's bringing you down.
Well, so like 2 years ago with the Jets-Browns game, like if you stacked the Browns,
you
probably didn't get there. Right. So like that could be one of those things.
All right. We have the 5th pick here.
I'm fine with either. I'm definitely fine with Puka.
All right.
Like I'm assuming you are as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I'd probably take JT above that, but it's.
Are you not Puka over JSN?
I'm kind of like, I think the first 3 are their own, and then I think the next like 4 are their own.
Wow, that's much different than me. I think that the top 4 are pretty locked in, like very locked in. I do definitely lean in the direction of Jamar Chase. But I do think that Puka deserves to be in that conversation. And I think that JSN with the rest of them like is kind of more of the conversation.
Yeah, I think my thing is like Puka ended up wide receiver 1, but if you look at to the point when Devontae Adams got injured, he was like wide receiver 5 or 6, which is still obviously very good. But then Devontae Adams got injured and he, vaulted up to the top. And it also, you also on top of not only needing Adams injured, you needed Matthew Stafford to lead the league in passing yards and lead the league in touchdowns. Are those going to happen again? And if so, then yeah, Puka has a chance again. But I look at it like Jamar Chase had a lot go wrong for him last year because they both missed one game. Chase due to suspension, Puka due to injury. And, Higgins only missed like one game. So Chase was doing it with better competition and, of course, much worse quarterback play because Burrow missed so much time. And even Flacco wasn't there. It was like 4 weeks of Jake Browning. So that's kind of how I look at it.
So I'll push back a little. I think that when they finally got to using Puka because Adams was hurt in the red zone, that's something they're not going to turn back. I don't think that they're going to stop the little 1 yard route completely, but I do think that they're going to design way more stuff for Puka in the red zone because it's like, oh, wait, he can do this. I also think that with them doing like taking Max Clare and like signifying they're definitely going to do the 13 personnel stuff a lot. All right.
Do you like Bowers?
I love Bowers.
Yeah.
So
I am what, especially with the schedule coming out.
yeah.
I really have gotten much more in on Bowers, and to me, it's created a even bigger gap between Bowers and McBride for me.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah. So back to the Puka thing. I think that could be a thing, and I think that the 12-13 personnel stuff is actually very, very bullish for Puka and Adams actually, because they're going against tight ends and not a third wide receiver. Cincinnati doesn't run near as much 12 personnel, and not that Yoshi Voss is like great, but it is a wide receiver trying to earn targets versus tight ends. So, and I think that Yoshi Voss is a solid player. Not that Terrence Ferguson doesn't have upside or Colby Parkinson's not a really good red zone threat as well. But I just think that whenever they seen what Puka could do, they leaned on that. Even whenever Adams came back, even maybe if he wasn't fully healthy, I just think that they may lean a little bit more that way. And I do agree, like the 46 touchdowns feels unlikely. Like, which is the biggest part of that. It is the biggest part of that.
Like, I know there was a little Puka more usage in the red zone, but his overall red zone usage was not great. And I know if you isolate it down the stretch, it was a little better, but it still wasn't near the top.
So how much of the community is on the right side of us? A lot.
What pick do you want to do here?
I'm fine with whatever, honestly.
Do you want to do a
let's do
bet?
And well, that's exactly why I was going to ask how many people were in the community are on the left side of us, because last time the entire community just did nothing but RBs all the way through the draft.
Well, it feels very RB heavy already. So,
well, they may stop in this one because they all have double elite.
Yeah.
So I do like that's why I kind of wanted to see the board. I didn't ask. That was my fault. I should have asked to see the board first. But if I'd have seen that, I would have wanted to push and went with one of the wide receivers there.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Just because, like, and I know the Scatterbo's not coming back, but like I really like the DeAndre Swifts in that. So, and we're still able to get those guys. But yeah, I think that locking up touchdowns here, and we're this bet is that Puka is wide receiver one, and the Rams just score as many touchdowns as they did last year. I also don't think that some people are probably going to drop Puka because of Myles Garrett and maybe Aaron Donald comes back. McVay doesn't let off the gas.
No, that's the one good thing.
And McVay doesn't let off the gas, so I don't think it matters. Like, maybe if they're up 3 scores in this fourth, like, he'll let up. But, like, until the middle of the fourth quarter, he is full gas the whole time.
Yeah.
So
that's why we love Sean McVay. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it was most other teams building this defense, if it was DeMeco Ryans, I don't know if any of their players would be draftable. Like it would be so bad.
The only thing I'll say is I do think that's part of the reason why Stafford won't reach the 40 sometime. He could be healthy all year and have 35 touchdowns, and that's a great year. It's just not the 46 touchdowns.
Right. I kind of wonder if they're not
probably it's less McVay taking his foot off the gas and more like defensive touchdowns from this group now.
Let's go Evans.
Okay.
You wanted to go Evans last time, kind of. Let's just go ahead and do Evans. So the 3, 4, 5 spot are really hard because you never get RBs back.
I know. Yeah.
And I think that if you are in on whatever running back you like next between CMC, Taylor, Genty, I think it's perfectly fine. Even Cook, I think it's fine to pull them up to like those picks if you are an RB piggy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not personally ever going to give up a Puka Nacua share. Like at 4. I'm not doing that. You're that way with Jamar Chase. Like you're okay mixing in the other. Like you got to find out what you're personally going to do. But I think that wherever you find that line, I think that you literally have zero chance. Like the community never pulls. You need multiple people to pull up non-running backs in that group, and it literally never happens.
Yeah, well, this is obviously the issue with like Neighbors and some others is it's just, and
I think the 4 and the 5 spot are the single worst spots on the board.
They're very tough.
Like I think I kind of like the 8, 9, 10.
Do you want to go Swift?
Yeah, let's go Swift.
Yeah,
I love the Swift pick, and like
just access to another great offense.
Right.
You know,
and he catches passes, so if you need a stack, you can always do that. Probably don't need the big upside, except for the like we seen it last year with Brock Purdy, right? Like rushing touchdowns. Caleb Williams has that in his bag. He just and I wonder if that's not going to be a little bit more of a thing this year with Caleb in the red zone. They don't. It feels like they're going to run more like 12 and 13 personnel overall. So I wonder if they're going to do it then, like get down to the red zone, and that won't make Caleb roll out a little more.
Yeah, I do wonder. I mean, from the perspective of the Bears, their third wide receiver went from being extremely strong last year, with a rookie burden plus Zacchaeus, and then now it's Khalif Raymond or Jody Walker or Xavier Thomas. I do think we see a lot. They really go a lot of 12 personnel. Having Komet, having Sam Roush, it feels like they're going to do that a lot more. And honestly, like Sam Roush on the field that's another good thing for DeAndre Swift. He's such a great blocker.
Yeah,
that could really help Swift and non-guy.
All of these pass catchers have really high ADP, and I'm part of the problem because I love Loveland. I've kind of cooled on Rome a little bit. But like Rome is more of the red zone threat than Burden. Loveland's going to be their number one red zone target. Like I think that is under talked about. Like that's one reason I'm so in on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going 12 personnel or 13 personnel, like I think these tight ends are going to get the most targets. I don't think Luther Burden's going to get very many. And I think that Caleb will probably rush for a few more, like in these passing downs. So I'm kind of, I know a lot of people don't like the Caleb bet because they've been kind of more of a run first team. But I also think that he may run a little more in the red zone based on personnel packages they have available to him.
Well, and it's just first year in the offense, almost 4,000 yards and nearly 30 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. I'm totally fine with Caleb. But what do you want to do here?
Do we want to go Marv?
I'm good with that. I'm good.
Let's like I've been trying to build this out with Arizona and Bowers a little bit. Now I'm not crazy. I don't take 2 Cardinals. I'm not nuts. Like I'm not going to do the double Cardinal thing. But
and the Marv thing is, I know he's disappointed people, and again, he actually had a good rookie year. People forget that because they took him at 12th or 13th overall, and he was not good for a 12th or 13th overall pick. But he had 800 plus yards, 7 touchdowns on less than 120 targets. Ideally, his targets continue to go up, and everything goes up with it.
When their offense started cooking, when Jacoby Brissett started throwing pick sixes to start the games, and then they were just down by 20 every half, like he was trying to come back after having his appendix removed like 2 weeks before, like a week before. Like, remember he had it removed. He's like, yeah, I'm going to play on Sunday. It's like, okay. Okay. You remember when he said that?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll be there. Well, he tried to play a few weeks later.
Yeah. And that, we just need him to stay healthy. What do you want to do with this pick?
Me personally, I want to just take Justin Herbert and call it good. Are you good with that? We could take Lemon. We could take we could take Lemon too. But
I'm good with Herbert.
like I think Herbert should go ahead of Jalen Hurts. Just flat out. If we're all in on this offense, like a lot of people are, why is Justin Herbert in a McDaniels offense like the most talented quarterback he's had?
Yeah.
Like, why is he going as quarterback? Not like I get like Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Drake May going ahead of him because they have the big rushing upside. Number one, Herbert has way more. Like he was number 2 last year in rushing yards. Like nobody remembers. But McDaniel turned Tua into a top 3 quarterback.
No, I know.
Like the arm talent of Herbert's so much better. Like all of these, like he, I don't see like he's an MVP front runner at this point. People are talking about it. Why is he going as quarterback? What is it?
8 or 9? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't like. I need more Herbert, and I was trying to force myself to not full fade Jalen Hurts or Caleb Williams, but like I personally, I know I was talking positive about Caleb earlier, but like Jalen or Justin Herbert to me should just go ahead of those guys, and I don't see a big argument for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think people forget early in Herbert's career he had some top 3 quarterback finishes. I think actually twice he finished top 3, at least twice in top 5, and like even the year that he had Kellen Moore, I think he was quarterback 6 or 7 when he got injured and missed the last essentially 4 weeks. So he's had a lot of big time performances in his past. He's got the weapons. The offensive line is A, better because they signed guys like Lindenbaum, but B, healthy. They were without Slater all year. They were without Alt for 2/3 of the year. It's just there's not, and like you said, the Mike McDaniel factor as well. It's just like everything is looking good. This is probably the best offensive line or second best offensive line he's had. This is probably on paper the best offensive line that he's had. The best or close to the best weapons he's had.
I'm pretty in on Godwin here.
Yeah. Okay. No,
I mean it's the week 17 bring back as well.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna have the naked Herbert to just get us through the season. Like I don't really care if he like I think he just may put up 40 touchdowns and 500 rushing yards. Like that just may be what happens. And in a pod of a 2 of 12, you probably don't need him stacked.
No.
And then we could take 2 other quarterbacks and have those game stacks for week 17. So like in this specific, like because we're not having to get through a 1 of 12, 1 of 12, or a 1 of 10, 1 of 10. We got a 1 of 6, or I think he said 1 of 6, 1 of 3. So taking the guy who's just going to score the most points and get you through the 2 of 12 is very important here.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like raw points are truly the name of the game. I think, we forget that at some point.
Yeah.
And Herbert has spike week potential, and honestly, with so many weapons, it could be spread out. It could be, Njoku gets 1, Gadsden gets 1, McConkey gets 1, type thing, and then he runs for 1.
Hit RB real quick. Well, it's happening again. So hit wide receiver. You want to just go Pittman? All right, yeah. Michael Wilson.
We already have Harrison. You want to double stack?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Look at the price.
That is true.
Like, I'm not going to have much Michael Wilson, but what pick is this? 101?
101, yeah.
And we're already in the offense. I know I said I'm not a crazy person, but I am a crazy person whenever you get the value.
That's why I had to ask, because you just said, I'm not going to take 2 of them.
One of them's getting traded at the bye week. That's what happening, guys. Like, I'm not a crazy person. We're predicting a trade.
But I
think that like I don't I'm not going to recommend this to anybody
except for me.
Do not try this at home. Do not.
Oh my. So no, like what I will say, we talked about this a little pre-stream. It's getting to the point where I think I'm okay taking them, especially with the fall there. Because I kind of think McBride's probably the one that's mispriced in this offense. And
I think it's McBride and Jeremiah Love.
I mean, Love to an extent, but I think
they're going to committee back. And I think they're going to committee back more than people think.
yeah.
Which means I should probably take some Algier, but I also think that they're going to score maybe 12 rushing touchdowns on the season. So does it really like 4 rushing touchdowns? Like that's fine, but 4 rushing touchdowns with 40 yards a game doesn't really sound that appealing.
Yeah.
You know,
no, I am.
I mean, Stafford all the way back would be fun.
That would be really good.
And the reason I didn't want Stafford is because Baker almost always makes it back around now. And I mean, Brooks went, but Baker may come all the way back around too. Like, and I don't know if you would rather take Baker here or if you'd rather pull up like a Rashad White to get an RB3. Or Rashad White got pulled up way up by Young Moolah.
Yeah,
So,
there's a couple. Where did Mbuka go?
he went on the other side of us because
Okay.
I was looking for the Puka Egbuka stack because I never take Puka or Egbuka. So I think
Mayfield went. So you want to just do Chris Rodriguez?
let's just do it. Like I think it's zero. Like it's not a 0 RB team, but an RB3. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
If he's ready by week 1, he's still going to be a guy who gets some touches. He could just be the 20-20 guy and maybe break off a long run here and there because he can break off long runs. Like that's something he does have in his bag.
Yeah. No, well, the reason I like Chris Rodriguez is, just those touchdowns. Even if he becomes the more expensive Sean Tucker, he still probably has fantasy value, right? It's just probably too expensive.
Yeah.
And I think there's upside for more. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
So do we take Tyler Shuck and just go for the raw points? And I believe I'm pretty okay. He goes. So luckily we don't have to make that decision. So we take Kelsey here, right?
Kelsey, I'm good with that.
Yeah. It's because we're getting the raw points with Herbert. We're getting the raw points with Bowers. But this also gives us some week 17 bring back if we end up being able to land Trey Harris in the last round or whatever.
Yeah.
And if not, like I think that we're fine with just him at price.
Well, it's just, we're going to be thinner at running back. This is another team where Kelsey can hit your flex plenty, If Bowers is going off like we're expecting and need for this team to work, Kelsey can definitely be in the mix for the flex.
So what are we doing? Are we doing Jacoby Brissett or last round Carson Beck? What are we?
I don't know. I guess Jacoby Brissett. I have a tough time with Carson Beck because I do worry about it, but
yeah, as Updog said, Carson Beck team loading. I've actually done the opposite.
Please no.
I've loaded up Carson Beck once or twice on these teams, but it's been like a Drake May Tyler Shuck team.
Yeah.
To where I feel okay. Like it's like I don't need the third quarterback. We're gonna need the third quarterback.
Yeah, probably.
So because I think one of our quarterbacks is probably gonna be Mendoza. So
yeah, then we definitely need 3 then.
So Beck actually Beck doesn't work there, right?
No.
Like the Brissett Beck thing works out a lot better in that situation. And then we just hope that the benching for Brissett doesn't have we hope that Cousins doesn't keep the job past week 7 and that Brissett's not benched before week 7. Right? Like we still have to dodge. If that's what happens, we still have to dodge something to have a quarterback on his bye week.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Yeah, so it's not guaranteed if that's the route we end up going.
Yeah,
that it's a good thing.
Because it also could be to the point, and we've talked about this, is Jacoby Brissett starts, but if he's does honestly what he did last year and maybe even a worse version of it, he could just get benched, and it could not be for Beck. It could be for Gardner Minshew. If he's out there throwing pick sixes every week, they might.
It was great for fantasy, though.
It was great for fantasy, but
it was.
But this new coaching staff might not feel the same way.
Well, like I was very in on Brissett week to week last year in the weekly rankings, and Big Draft Energy asked me because I'm like, I'm pretty out on him. And he's like, why are you out? You were so in on. Oh, like, because it's a different thing. It's a completely different situation. Yeah. So we're looking at like what's going to happen to the fantasy playoffs, and he ain't playing in the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
that is not happening. I think we just take CJ Stroud or Daniel Jones.
I like the Stroud bet.
I'm kind of like the more I look at it, I really like the CJ Stroud bet.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I agree. Like, obviously, like it's been disappointing these last 2 years, but he's got the weapons. They've tried to rebuild the offensive line. We'll see if it takes this year. I think having a more stable running game with Monty helps him. And, that defense is still that defense, but we see this with a lot of, quarterbacks attached to great defenses. You can still have good years, and for where he's going, I think he can pay off pretty easily.
Yeah. So hit running back. I want to look at all of them. Hit RB. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't want Algier on this one. I think we're kind of locked into a wide receiver, or what's the other quarterbacks? Bryce Young.
Bryce.
I think we just take a wide receiver here, based on what's left. And I mean, I love Omar, but he kind of fits what we have going on because it feels like we got a lot of solid picks.
I'm okay taking out Omar here. A little fall.
He got a little fall. We're locked into the juggernaut of the Arizona Cardinals.
So let's tie ourselves But honestly, like from a structural sense, like I think we're good. Especially early in the year, Omar Cooper. Late different by than week 14. I do think we wanted to avoid week 14 if possible. And I just think with a little bit of about 10 pick fall, 8-10 pick fall, I think that's fine. Because otherwise we're pulling a guy up, and running back, we could have taken Pacheco, but it's not like a need. So
I'm actually gonna suggest something later that you may not like. Okay. But we'll see if you like. We don't have to do it. It'll be a suggestion. So are you kind of wanting to do Mendoza here, or we like? I think Mendoza fits this way better. I think it does, because I think Herbert like what we were talking about earlier. Like Beck, I think with this could be a Beck thing, but Mendoza's going to definitely start way earlier. It's what I would do, and I'm more of a gambler than you are, I would push Mendoza, and if we don't get him at a 10-pick ADP, I would just slam back in the last round.
Yeah, and I
think that because I'm fine with just these two, and if neither one happen, it's fine, right? Do I want it? I do kind of want Mendoza. I like the Mendoza bet on a team like this.
Yeah.
But is it absolutely needed? I don't know.
I don't think at 164, if he comes back to the next pick, 173, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. And then if we have a free pick at the end of the draft, if we want to wing it on a Carson Beck or a Brissett, because Brissett goes undrafted somehow.
Yeah.
So we could just kind of make a decision then if we want to try to solidify the early season or not,
No, I'm okay with that. What are you thinking with this pick?
I think Pacheco is the pick. I don't love it's another. Do I love it? No, but
yeah,
I think he gives us what are our bye weeks at running back?
11, 10, and 7.
Yeah, I think it's a RB4. Or do we want to just kind of swing for the fence here on these picks?
Well, Pacheco goes.
How many wide receivers we got?
We have 6.
What pick is it?
164.
Crazy thought. Do we want to just pull up Trey Harris?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, I don't think he's really at this point, but I also definitely think that 3 out of every 10 seasons he probably outscores the 4 or 5 guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like, or at least a couple of them. I do much prefer Denzel Boston here, and I think that betting on the capital of Stribling is a smart bet. But we also would be double betting on a team that we don't have a quarterback to on a second option. Like that would be 2 teams we're double stacking without the quarterback.
Yeah.
And we ended up taking Kelsey earlier. So I think this is kind of what you're talking about earlier. Like the ADP, like you don't want to pull them up early, like way early.
Yeah.
That's more so in like rounds 7, 8, 9. Doing that because you're giving up actual, like if you're looking at auction dollar value, you're giving up $3-4. Like down here, it's all in like the $1 auction range.
Well, and it's also like these bets that they're all essentially rookies or Tesla. Like none of them are like locked into anything. Like very easily, Trey Harris could be above all those guys. It's much harder in those earlier rounds where you're like, oh yeah, this receiver, I'm going to take 15 picks higher than ADP is better than the 4 receivers.
All right.
Otherwise,
let's take Mendoza.
Yeah, no, I think this works out.
Yeah, and then now I was going to suggest something that we can't do anymore. So let's just lock in running back and just take 3 more running backs and call it good, right?
Yeah. No, I mean,
I was going to suggest taking Schultz.
Yeah,
but we didn't get an RB to like get our 4th RB to make us like a Sean Tucker maybe or Pacheco there. I don't think Algier makes sense with the double stack at wide receiver because he doesn't catch passes. So like if we could have taken Algier and then pushed to a quarterback, that would have been fine. But like he's not a pass catcher, so it didn't make sense. We could, but like I think that Dalton Schultz would have been fine because he could hit the flex as well, right? But we can't. We're going to be thin at running back. I think we need volume.
Exactly. And I like Dalton Schultz, again, a tight end with 300 with 100 plus targets, hard to find. But he is out there and he goes late. So I think in normal, like in a vacuum, I think he's a great pick this late. But yeah, we would have probably needed to be a little stronger at running back to even consider it. And then he went off before Mendoza did anyways.
So in this situation we're at, I've made a couple, like I've picked a certain player over 2 players I like more a couple times in this exact situation. Okay. And we'll see if you can figure out what it is or if he's available. I mean, it's the pick that kind of makes sense the most for basic best ball.
My thought is you're talking about Mike Washington.
Yeah.
We
got if Genty goes down, okay, he doesn't. Like if Genty goes down, he is the bell cow. We have the quarterback. He's not unable to catch passes, right?
Yeah.
I think that it's just the basic best ball pick here. Like it's an upside swing. We need the upside. Like C-Rod is the opposite of an upside swing. Like he is literally the opposite of that. So I think since we're betting on the offense, we're kind of pretty heavily into that Week 17 game. Let's go ahead and take another bet on that game here with Mike Washington.
No, I mean
I've taken him a couple times there over Emmett Johnson and Sean Tucker when Sean Tucker was before he moved up 30 more picks. Yeah. So
no, I mean these rookie running backs, and we can lump Singleton into it as well. Like there's some of them are going to hit. I mean, we see this every year. Like, nobody thought Bucky Irving was going to hit when he hit, and nobody thought, Kyle Monangai was going to hit last year. But these guys, they find a way, and that's a situation, like you said, it's a clear number 2 right now, and we'll see if they bring in Najee or anything like that. But until we get like camp news to suggest that that's not going to happen, then yeah, I think it's a very good pick in the 16th, 17th round.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I cannot click and haven't been able to click Emmanuel Wilson the entire time. Like,
yeah, neither have I.
I've clicked him once or twice in round 18. Yeah, I mean, Katron Allen's the easy pick if he's there. And I think Ray Davis is the next option.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those two.
What are your thoughts on Braylon?
I mean, we're already in the 2 juggernaut offenses. We could just get out of Washington and go full in. Like I don't tempt me. Don't.
I do think, like this is how I think it would have played last year if he didn't get hurt like week 4. Breece Hall has just never been a touchdown guy, and I think Braylon could have that role. We'll have to see what the news is, how it plays out. They didn't add any running backs.
I kind of think the contract speaks volumes.
I mean, it does, but we're saying I don't think you and I, either one of us, think Kenneth Walker is going to be like the goal line back.
I think he will be.
Like, I think he'll get plenty of red zone usage, but I mean, like inside the 3-yard carries. Like, how many?
I think he will be.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson's not a big back.
No,
but unless they go out and sign Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Like, what are their options? He is by far their biggest back.
Yeah, I guess Emmett Johnson has at least shown some contact balance to be in between tackles. I guess I'm not saying it's like he subbed out every single time, but I could see Emmett Johnson getting enough of a Frankenstein role of a little passing work, just a little RB2 work, and a little inside the red zone work. I don't think it's gonna, like, to me, like Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall, even to more of an extent, they're obviously not Derrick Henry. They're not Jonathan Taylor. They're not going to get every single carry inside the 5-yard line.
Right. What pick are we at? We got two more picks, or
no?
one?
We got one more pick.
All right. I think you know where I want to go. There's a player that we both don't like, and that player's superior is still on the board.
Wait. Now I'm confused.
It's a stack too. Kamani Vidal.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamani Vidal. I think that he's kind of the clear pick here if we get
it.
And if not, like I don't take a lot of Jordan James, but if I take a Niners back, I've been taking him. Where do you stand between him and Kalen Black? You were in on Kalen Black pre-draft a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't. So I'm curious what you think on that.
This is one I've taken a little of each so far, and I'm just going to let the camp battle kind of dictate where I end up with a greater percentage at.
I've mostly been like, I'm just going to avoid the situation completely because one of them is a definite 0.
Yeah.
I mix them in like near the end, whenever contests were closing, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have like 2% of each. Like, I'm not making a big stand on them right now.
I think I'm 3% on James, and I've got like 1 share of Kalen Black. I do think I've seen some people do this on drafters, and I don't think it's that bad. I think if they're both there in like rounds 18, 19, just double tapping them is a very solid thing to do at this point in the offseason.
I agree. It's
I do think if McCaffrey goes down, it's not going to be a bell cow situation.
And that's what I was just going to say, is this probably ends up being, if McCaffrey misses time, they're both utilized and they both will have some fantasy value. I think the question is, who is there to, if McCaffrey is fully healthy again, to maybe get the 2 weeks of usability? That I don't think we have a clear picture on right now.
So, honest opinion, what do you think of the team? Because I don't have many of these Arizona stacks. And I'm pretty bullish on DeAndre Swift. And I think Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift is a very strong 1-2. Chris Rodriguez is fine as a third guy. Like, I think he can help support the bottom there. But like, I think those three, like Mike Washington, K. Allen, are just giant swings. And Kamani Vidal is basically Rashad White if that goes at pick 200.
Yeah. I mean, I think where I stand. Like, I'm not a Keaton Mitchell guy.
Yeah.
If anything happens to Hampton, it's going to be Vidal who gets the big workload bump, not, Keaton Mitchell is like 3 games of 10 or more touches in his career. And so, no, I think the running back room is fine. I mean, obviously we need the top 2 guys to stay healthy because it does thin out a bit. But Washington and Allen both have a path forward. I think Chris Rodriguez has a path forward and Vidal even to an extent. I think for me, I don't mind not being fully stacked up with the quarterbacks. I think Herbert has big time upside. I think Stroud can just be our chaperone type guy.
And like the reason I was okay pulling Trey Harris up is, well, that's our last wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
We might as well just get the guy we want instead of trying to put, like, there wasn't really a running back in that range that like felt better than the running backs we got.
Yeah.
Like maybe Emmett Johnson over whatever. Like if Katron Allen and Emmett Johnson were both gone and we didn't get one of those two with Mike Washington, I would have been a little upset. I'm not going to lie, but like I do think you need to push it in those situations and like play the ADP game and take the for sure stack with the quarterback at that point. Whenever you're going to take a bunch of, like, you want to take a bunch of players that are picked 190, like just to fill out what you think the right room is. And I think Mike Rob wants you to scroll the board.
I will. I'll go over the rest of our team first, and then I'll do the board, and then I'll go over the others.
Yeah.
But like the wide receiver room, Puka, Evans. I mean, that can be 2 top 10 receivers, obviously. Marv, Godwin, Michael Wilson. I definitely haven't really done the Arizona double tap.
What? You're not a crazy person? What?
But I do think it's a very condensed passing tree.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be McBride and these 2 receivers. I don't think they lead the league in passing attempts like they did a year ago, but they'll probably be at least middle of the pack because they will be down in a lot of games. And I don't think Kendrick Bourne and whoever else is there is going to really eat into the workload of these 2 guys. So
I've taken a couple shares of Kendrick Bourne and Superflex over the last couple of days.
I mean, again, 20 rounds.
Just so you know. Just so you know.
I think I definitely have in like DraftKings because it's,
I'm not proud of it, but it's on film, so can't deny it. I can't deny it.
And then a rookie upside in Cooper, and then Trey Harris, like you said, with the stack. So I think the receiver room is good. It's just we're relying a lot on Arizona not completely imploding.
I mean, and if they are, like, the bet was dead anyway.
Yeah.
So
and then tight end wise, I love it. Bowers and Kelsey. I mean, legitimately could be tight end 1 and 2. I know some people were down on the Kelsey thing, but he was tight end 3 in total points, 8 or 9 in points per game last year. And like he didn't have Patrick Mahomes for the last month of the season.
I think tight end 2 is a little high because, I mean, Loveland was getting 11 targets a game down the stretch, barring injury, right?
Yeah, I guess Kelsey had a pretty good Kelsey had roughly that target share, and up until Mahomes got hurt.
Yeah,
and I think he was about 10 targets a game until Mahomes got hurt.
What? Chris Oludokin couldn't keep him float?
Yeah, can't imagine.
Oludokin. I was calling him Ryu, by the way. Oludokin.
It's a good name. But my thing is, Kelsey did not come back to not be utilized. And I think it will be not just that's what he wanted. But I think Reed and Bieniemy are gonna script the plays for him. And I think you better believe week 17, week 16, like these last couple games, Mahomes is not going to be trying to feature Travis Kelsey.
I think Kansas City is going to be on the verge of getting knocked out of the playoffs in that week 17 game. I think that the Chargers and the Broncos are much better teams. I think Kansas City is going to be 9-7 at that point, or something, or 9-6, and they could get double tapped out of the playoffs. And that being a very important game to get them to 10 wins to be able to go to the Raiders at the end to beat them to go to the playoffs. I think that game could be the one to basically be the final nail in the coffin if we don't win. And I think that right there, knowing that and thinking about that, that's why I have this as like the number 3 game in week 17. I think that it's indoors, and like I think everything's on the line here. And I think it's the Mahomes side that's on the line.
Yeah. No, I agree. And we've also seen Mahomes and Kelsey come up big against the Chargers in the past. So
like Nice and Blunt's now a Travis Kelsey fan, just so you're aware.
So overall, this team, again, am I doing the Arizona double stack? No, but don't mind having a little bit of it.
Like you have to preface it with it fell.
Yeah, it fell, and we had to bring back and all that. So but I think every other room is fine.
I mean, if Arizona is a average offense and even like a top 20 offense, like not even average, like between 16 and 20, they are a, like you were saying, pass targeting volume, like hyper targeted offense. Like it's just going to be those 3 guys getting targets, right? McBride and those 2.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of offense you want to be in. And like, I think week to week, one of those 2 receivers is going to hit our wide receiver 3.
Well, and just to real quick, like the prices where they're going, Marv in the late 60s, and now Michael Wilson, we got him pick 100, but now 90s, those are very easy to hit value, and not only hit value but exceed value. It's the Trey McBride where he's in a tough click because the opportunity cost for other players in that round is high. And then, he's in between now Bowers and Loveland, and it's just one of those things like, why not wait for Loveland?
Where do you click? If you don't bake ADP into your ranks, if you're fully not baked, where do you put Loveland or McBride? I think where he went in this draft is about where he should be going. Yeah,
I think I want him closer to Loveland, to be honest.
I mean, I think Loveland should be up the board. So
like
that's kind of like that's why I think it's fine. Because like if you go to DraftKings, I know it's full PPR, but DraftKings and DraftVerse's ADP is basically 40, like just flat 40.
Yeah.
Loveland's is, and I think if McBride's was 36, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So to my point, and I think what you're saying is these Arizona receivers, they can hit most weeks. Probably one of them's hitting, and there probably will be a couple weeks where both hit. At least usability. So I'm okay with taking them now. And honestly, sometimes condensed rooms are better than these rooms like the Jaguars, who are very spread out, and could be like just all eating each other.
Right, the condensed offense that's offense number 20 versus the very spread out like Buffalo Bills offense, which is a top 5 offense every year. Like how often do those receivers really do work?
Yeah,
it's very rare. So these hyper targeted offenses, and like I've been pretty harsh on the Cardinals, but I do think that they are probably pretty good picks right now. Like the Michael Thomas one, I've been waiting for the floor. I think the floor is here. I still like Michael Pittman straight up over him. Like I think I think that the Pittman price is wild right now, but I'm also out on DK Metcalf. But I think the DK Metcalf and Michael Wilson should be like back to back, and Pittman should be up there where DK Metcalf is. It's kind of what I think should kind of like without making ADP into rankings.
Yeah. But no, it's fun to do different teams. So definitely appreciate having you on. Just showed the board for Mike. I'm going to go over these teams, and then we'll get out of here. But
Yeah, I didn't mean to derail you that much, but
no.
I sure did.
It's all good, and I think it is a fair debate to have about these Cardinals players because it's a tough team to figure out, and it's one of those things. One of the other interesting things, last thing I'll say about it is McBride's going to kind of stay roughly where he's at. I know he's fallen some, but because we have such questions about the quarterback situation right now, I don't think the other receivers are going to be being pulled up the board. And that's probably a mistake. I mean, we saw what Michael Wilson could do last year. I think we know what the upside of Marv is. I think there's just paths where they both hit value.
What I'm going to say about McBride is if he falls to like 34, 35, 36, it's going to make me more likely to move Genty up to the 107. Because if I can get McBride that game stack, like, am I going to do it every time? No. But like, if I can get Ashton Genty at the 108 and I could get Trey McBride in round 3 and then wrap around and get a Scatabo, Javonte, Kyron Williams, or T. Higgins, like, who's fallen down there now for whatever reason, like, I'm pretty into it.
Yeah.
Like, you get Genty, you get, I don't know, you could put London up or something, or like take another running back and then go McBride. And then like in the next round, you get one of those receivers, or you can get Scatabo and then you just go wide receiver heavy after that. Like that wouldn't feel that bad.
No. And
so,
and I think, and this is different, with how much you need to bake in the week 17 and stuff like that. But I get what you're saying, like in general, like one Genty up and if it's more easy to get McBride in a couple rounds later.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it every time you have the opportunity, but I do think I'd mix it in with, if you're a Genty Bowl, you'd want that. So
all right, let me go through these teams real quick. We got JT in the 1-2-7-7-2, Lamar Burrow. So he all in for that week 17 game. And, potentially 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks. Ramondre, Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Charbonnet, Tank Bigsby, Alvin Kamara, Malik Davis. So, 0 RB approach, but Ramondre and Pollard and Dobbins to an extent kind of anchoring it. I like the volume. I probably would like another running back in between Dobbins and Charbonnet, just since you did start late. But overall, I think having volume is fine. And you got some interesting guys here at the end. Like Malik Davis doesn't get fully drafted. I think he's probably most likely the Cowboys' second back.
You don't believe the buzz that came out today about Jaden Blue?
I missed it. What was the buzz today about Jaden Blue?
Somebody said there's Jaden Blue buzz. It's like, well, yeah, I seen John A. Walker buzz today too, and it was it's like he looks really good wearing the number 9. It's like, what? Okay,
that's some buzz.
Thanks. Like, yeah.
So receiver room, this is fun. Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins, Casey Concepcion, Jalen Naylor, Trey Tucker, and Elijah Surratt. Both Cincinnati pieces there. Rashee Rice in between, then taking some, both Raiders guys, Concepcion, Surratt. That turns into an intriguing room, and then 2 tight ends, Fannin and Andrews. So
I do have one question going back to the running back room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a question about this specific room. I think it's fine. I think Charbonnet on this kind of team is fine. But I think in this specific, I think Charbonnet is a better bet. Did he go before ADP or after? Like, did he fall
right at ADP?
Like, I think the Charbonnet bet, like that price, like I'm not clicking him at all. So you take this with a grain of salt, but I think it's a more logical price in a large finals than it is in a small finals. Just as a game theory idea, like, because what you're looking for Sharbs, and the reason he's priced there is because he has the 15 to 17 point upside for the multi-touchdown game, and he might be the lead back if Jadarian Price isn't good, right? But you're looking for that week 17. I do think, and I don't think that he's like unclickable in this content. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't think he's going to be healthy. But if you think he's going to be back week 10, I think that he's a better click the larger the final is. Would you agree?
Yeah. I think and also
just a thought. I don't know.
Larger playoff pods, because the more unique, like he's going to have,
true.
He's going to be
like
tough
the one of three. Like I don't really value his upside there. You know,
well, it's not just upside, but him being a unique piece that also can separate you from the group. But
true.
I think the other thing, like for me, the quantity of backs is fine, but if you'd taken Bigsby and like the Bigsby and you took both Raiders receivers here, which I get, and I think is very interesting.
I mean, we can't talk anything. We took both Cardinals.
Yeah, no.
We got to be quiet right now.
Even though these were both ahead of ADP, I actually don't mind it because I think they can easily maintain that, like hit that value. So it's an interesting build. But if one of those picks was a running back and Charbonnet's your 5th running back in a 7 running back build, I'd feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
Or you had like an anchor plus these guys, that kind of thing. There's just a little extra risk there involved with Charbonnet. And like you said,
if you like the Sharps bet, you like the Sharps bet, and like keep making it if you like it. Like, I was just trying to talk like more of a game theory thing. Like I think in the 188 finals, and with the small playoff pods, I didn't get to that point. I meant to make it. I forgot to make it. You made it. But I think that also factors into it.
Yeah.
I do think in like the BBM style stuff, like trying to get him to that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
So
because
the separating piece, because fewer people are going to make it with him because it is a 0 for a lot of the season. So like if only, let's say that every player has an average of 16.7% advance rate. If his is at 10.5, you have a better chance to have him as a unique piece in your 12-person pod.
Yeah.
Right. As being the only one with him, just based on math. Right. And most pieces are going to be unique in a 1 of 6 or a 1 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's kind of, so I think we're in agreement there. But overall, I like the, I think the biggest issue that I see with people who draft Sharps is who do it in like 5 running back builds. Like that's the worst way to approach it.
It depends on the 5 running backs. If your fifth RB is Dowdle, it's whatever.
Yeah. If he's your 5th back, that's one thing. But I'm saying like him being like the 3rd back or even the 4th back. Probably not as good.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, game tight 2592 Goff Shuck, Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Travis Etienne, Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson. Receiver room, JMO, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Travis Hunter, Juwan Jennings, Isaac Tesla, and Zachariah Branch, Mooney, and Bailey. So a lot of volume at receiver.
What pick did they get Tyler Shuck at?
Shuck.
It was the pick at.
Yeah.
They have. Did they have Olave? They have Etienne. They have Travis.
They have Travis Etienne. Yeah,
and then they backsacked Bailey too.
Yeah.
And Branch could bring back. Like I think that Tyler Shuck. It doesn't look like your rankings. You like Shuck. I love the Tyler Shuck price. So getting him at a value.
Yeah, I'm fine at Shuck. I want to be at market essentially with them.
So you do DraftKings too, right?
Yeah.
Like, by the way, let's finish this. But this is an awesome team. Like, this is just a really well built team. It's correlated really well. All of the picks. Like, I mean, there's some players I don't love their profile, but like the ADP's built well. Like the Jalen Warren versus Rico, it's whatever. Like one of them's right. They're probably both of them are good picks, honestly.
Yeah.
I need less than 2% or more than 2% Jalen Warren. I need to just stop forcing that. Like only Dowdle, but that's a me problem. But like the Laporta Loveland thing is really fun. I've done it a couple times. You got that game stack. You got the other game stack. What I was going to talk about with the DK thing, Bo Nix is falling to like 115 every single draft over there, and
Mhm.
Tyler Shuck goes ahead of him, and that is wrong. Like, I want all the Tyler Shuck, but man, like Bo Nix fought, like, we haven't got negative news. He just has the Q tag over there. So if you're drafting over on DK, like multiple drafts, I've got him at like 116, 120. If you want, like, I moved Jalen Waddle up and Cortland Sutton up a little bit, and I take them like slightly above ADP because I think it's well worth it because of the value of Bo Nix. And that's just a personal preference thing. Like, I think that if you know one thing is super valuable, like if you are willing to move up a few spots within a tier, like it just makes sense to do that to try to get those valuable teams.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm with you on the Bo Nix is falling too much, especially over there, and even in general, sometimes here he falls.
Yeah.
I don't get, like, that's my issue with Shuck is more like that range of quarterbacks. I'm just kind of flat on.
Well, like I loved, like, I don't think he should go ahead of Goff. I don't think he should go ahead of, like, I think Kyler is 50-50. I think like Stafford and whatever, but like Bo Nix and Brock Purdy, and like he goes ahead of some of those guys sometimes. And I don't think he should be ahead of that group.
Yeah, like to me, he's firmly behind all those, and like him and Baker are kind of the same. And Baker, I do feel a little better in general, just track record, obviously. But I love Shuck's. If Shuck wasn't with Kellen Moore, I'd be way further down on him.
Same.
But Kellen Moore is, to me, quite a quarterback whisperer. So
yeah.
But yeah, the rest of this team is built very, very well. Strong running back room.
Really
receivers are, kind of just two guys in top 100, but your flex is going to come from tight end or running back, and you just threw volume at it at receiver. So I think that's a better approach. I know a lot of people get down when they only see like two wide receivers drafted this high, but it's just like you're only trying to hit 3 spots every single week.
Well, he also built it correctly, getting a nice mix of people who should get some targets, like guaranteed, and with like the late pick Darnell Mooney, and like I believe it or not, like Vele could just be a solid like number 3 target, like that's going to get some, like he's going to give you 2 or 3 12, 13-point games. That's not much, but that's enough to fill a flex, or not a flex, but your wide receiver 3 in a down week, like and that matters.
Yeah,
and Jawan Jennings is like an adult version of that.
Exactly.
So, you like just teared down through the draft on that.
So no, I'm with you. I think the team is built well. Like almost every team we build has to have some risk involved. For us, it was taking 2 Arizona Cardinals. But
we didn't stop there because we took a
jet. But no, it's like if you're going to build risk, like find ways to then mitigate your risk the rest of the way. Is I guess the way I would put it. Like if you're going late tight end, make sure you're taking like late tight ends who are going to be on the field. Don't take Evan Ingram and Jatavian Sanders. Maybe they hit, but the chances are very, very small.
Don't have a tight end room of Dalton Kincaid, Eli Raritan, and Justin Jolie. Like. That's not the move. That's
so yeah. I mean, I think it's so rare to have like you feel great about every single room. So it's like there's going to be risk involved, and I think the way he did it here is, you stack up, the elite tight end room, 2 good quarterbacks, and a very strong running back room. So you feel great about those. And receiver is like you probably feel average about, but that's fine.
They haven't chatted yet, but I think that is that Kale Elliott there. They're a new. They found my channel recently, so I'm glad. I'm glad they made it over here.
Yeah, no, appreciate you for jumping in the draft with us.
Well, maybe they just got unlucky and got housed by the double Arizona. Maybe.
Well, this is a sharp room as to Mike here saying putting myself on a timer with stream drafts. Too many solid rooms.
Man,
yeah.
I very rarely do stream drafts off stream. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, but I won't do my pit bulls. Like I'm not doing those. If I'm doing some of them on stream, I'm not going to join Fanspeaks. Like also, like no thanks.
Well, with Fanspeak though, if Meg's in the room, you can just draft around what you know she's going to do.
Or you could just take Aaron Rodgers 30 picks ahead of ADP and see if she sets things on fire.
Very likely. Very, very likely. All right. So we got Peanut in here next. Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart. I mean, if they stay healthy, that's fantastic quarterback room. That staying healthy is the question there.
Yeah.
But I also Dart is falling, which I don't fully get.
Well, he's another one. Like he's falling. Like these rushing quarterbacks with these high upside quarterbacks are all falling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, the Dart one does make sense because everybody was attaching his price to Neighbors, and Neighbors feels really bad.
And Dart even said, like, we're going to be more of a run first team, you know, like we're going to feature Scatavoo. I mean, Meg's repeated the quote to me like 100 times. I don't remember it, but
I'm surprised. She probably has the quote like in clip form on her phone, and she probably texts.
It's probably in chat here.
I'm surprised it's not put into the Fanspeak Discord as an audio clip like every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like there's an idea for you, Meg. You could do that.
I'm sure she will. And I meant it. You're going live what time today?
In 30 minutes.
Okay.
I put the link to it in the private
I saw
chat.
that, and I just wanted to. I will drop that now while we do these last reviews. So in 30 minutes, who will be live on his channel?
I'm doing a drafters. I'm doing drafters giveaway tickets today.
Oh,
so
nice.
So I'm going to do a draft, and during the second draft, at some point, I will do a giveaway, and we may do a third draft. We may not. I don't know. We'll see.
Very nice.
I think I'm going to do both DK main or both drafters mains, and if we get to enough likes for a third draft, I think I'm going to do a mini. I think I want to get to the 25 drafters tickets to get the 2 tickets because they're doing double bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the main. So I think I want to get to 20. I don't want to do most of them early, but I think get to 25 by June 30th to get the extra 2 ticket. The extra ticket is it's kind of fun. It's fine.
I can see that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So back to this, 2 elite quarterbacks, Quinshon Judkins, Blake Corum, Aaron Jones, Sean Tucker, Nicholas Singleton, Ray Davis. I think this is another running back room where it's kind of like you're hoping Judkins is the anchor, and then this is kind of like our first draft where
I mean, it's literally almost exactly our first because we got Aaron Jones, Sean Tucker, and it was it Blake Corum? It was Corum, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Corum, but it wasn't Judkins. It was we had Chase Brown.
Yeah, we were a little better up top, but so it was an Ohio running back. So
I love this RB room. I don't see how this could go wrong.
But I think, and I'm assuming you just can never count on the flex coming from this room.
It's also Amon. It's also it's also Amon Ra.
Drake London, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I mean, fantastic wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Lemon, Diggs, and Malachi Fields for the Dart stack.
Yeah.
Tight ends likely Dart, stacked with Dart as well. Chig with Jaden, and then Pat Fry. So I mean, every other room is super strong, super big upside. 2 quarterbacks who easily could be top 5. Tight end room combined should be really good. Receiver room is, I think, insanely good with these first 4 plus Lyman and company. So it's just getting 2 usable running back scores every single week is going to be the toughest thing.
Yeah, but if you get there, like this team if you can edge through the 2 of 12, like I the 1 of 6, 1 of 3, like you have so much firepower at wide receiver.
Yeah,
and you do have some good darts there for the 188 final at running back. So, like,
agreed. Agreed. So let's get through these last couple teams because I know who needs to go.
I also need to pee. So
Well, if you need to jump off,
no, it's all good. I'm not like in a rush.
So Buddy Man here, 2772, Purdy, Darnold. Generally I'm going to go with third quarterback with just those kind of two, but
Darnold's so uninspiring. Like he's like 15 points every week. It's not even 20.
I do wonder if they're throwing the ball more. No Kenneth Walker. Their defense took a hit.
I fully think that's happening.
Tougher. So
that's why I'm in on Torrey Horton.
Yeah.
Like and like why I think Cooper Kupp's a pretty good. Like I think AJ Barner's really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Like because of that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Darnold throw the ball about 7,500 times more this year. I think that's
how many?
75 to 100 times more.
Oh. I thought you said 7,500. I'm like, what? What? I'm like, I know I didn't hear that right. I was like,
so pretty big jump in attempts is what I'm kind of viewing.
Yeah, not as big as I think, but yeah. Okay, got it.
So Chase Brown, Jadarian Price, Rico, Jonah Coleman, Tyler Algier, Emma Johnson, Jordan James. Kind of. I know you're maybe a little bit more out on Price, but you got to fall there. I love the Rico pick. I think you're in on that also. Chase Brown, we're both in on. So I think the running back room turns out pretty fine here. Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, T-Mac, DJ Moore, Jalen Coker, Deshaun Stribling, and Torrey Horton. Guessing was maybe hoping to get Bryce Young at some point, having the double stack there. So I'm guessing maybe got sniped in that regard. But I think the receiver room is pretty good.
That's the bring back.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Kraft Kittle. Again, I'd probably go third tight end.
With those two specific.
Yeah.
Like, I think like Laporta, Kittle, like I'm pretty positive Kittle's or Kraft's just ready week one. Like I'm pretty positive on that.
There was a report on that today, but it's still like ready for week one still doesn't necessarily mean like you're 100% ready to,
Yeah, well, so like I want to talk about the Kittle thing real quick. Like since you've had this conversation before, like I do think that it's probably pretty likely that Kittle plays at some point, and he's probably a pretty good pick. All of the reports are that he says he's going to be ready for week one. Yeah. The team hasn't commented yet. Right? It's all been he thinks he's going to be ready for he says he's going to be ready for week one. The team like the Scatabo stuff, I was kind of in on it pre-draft because he's like I said I think he's going to be ready. I went and done some research on like that injury and like how long the like recovery time to be ready to play is, stuff like that. And what I was saying lined up with what he was saying, but I didn't fully go in until the team said we think he's going to be ready.
Yeah.
For training camp. The Kittle thing, it's only Kittle saying that. Like or beat reporters repeating what he said back in March.
Yeah.
And him reemphasizing it. Like maybe I missed it. Maybe the team did say it. And if the team did say it, just let me know. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is it's just so early to even know. I mean, and I know every injury can be different, and there's some things like where it got torn and all that. Is it a good location? But at the same time, he's just an older guy. And also, the 49ers have just shown themselves to be very conservative with injuries. We saw this last year. They did not bring Purdy back. Like there was rumors of Purdy coming back like 3 weeks before he came back the second time. But they were like, Mac Jones is playing well enough. We're going to keep going. Same with, Kittle, same with Ricky P. And the year before with Christian McCaffrey, they finally brought him back and then he got injured again, but it's not like they were rushing him back. Like they're very conservative when it comes to injuries.
They also lie.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that's the part I care about. It's not that they're conservative about it. It's that they lie about it. Like, like I'm 8.7% Kittle right now. I don't want to be out because it is a bet that if you're wrong, like he could just I think there's a 100% chance that he plays during the finals this year. Now, I also think that like getting him there could be rough.
Yeah.
Like, but I would love to get to week 14 or week 15 with a Kittle team. Like, you're going to feel very strong if you do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have him and you look at a pod, you see George Kittle just put up 23 points in week 13. And this guy has Brock Bowers, George Kittle, and you're looking at Hunter Henry, Jawan Johnson, and Eli Raritan. It's like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. Like, it's not going to feel good.
Yeah. No. And I think the Kittle stuff, it just bears watching.
It really does. Like,
and
like you make that bet based on what your risk tolerance is or what you believe when you do your own research. I'm just waiting for the team to say something. And then when the team says something, I don't know how much I believe them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all right.
But no,
I sidetracked you again. You're welcome.
No, I think that was a fun team. That
no, it's a good team. I do. I love those two players.
Yeah,
like I love those two players. So
I
see that. That's what I was laughing about.
All right.
I guess there's no French with best ball. Like she's gonna run a special. It's gonna be called Enemy of Best Ball.
Yeah,
it's gonna it's
gonna be you and Come On Baby, Turn the Lights On. So here we got Young Mullah at the 10th spot, 3.573. Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, and Shador, Saquon, Cam Scatteraboo, Tootin, Rashard White, Jonathan Brooks. I like. I know we pulled up Tootin. I'm not so in on that, but I like Tootin as the 3 with some other guys that you feel good about. But I know he's very into Bashal Tootin, but I think this could be at the very least, it should be a good running back room. It could be a great running back room if like White gets the role that he's expecting. Tootin, Brooks, like you could end up with 5 starting running backs, right? Like that could be an insanely good running back room.
Yeah, like I think Tootin's another, like he's kind of like a Kittle to me. Like I actually way more than I want in Superflex because I think his price is good there. But like he's a player that you don't want to be. I don't think you want to full fade Tootin. Because he does have the ability to kill your season. Like he really does.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with that. And this is also like a full team bet, Trevor Lawrence, and we'll see. So he's going all in on the Jags.
I love that running back room though. That running back room is fire.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is like when I want a Tootin share, it's in a room like this where I have 2 guys ahead of them that I feel great about, and then even guys behind them that I feel have upside as well.
Rashad White, like he pulled him way up, but like Rashad White, like perfectly accents that. Like he's a floor play there, like to help the week Tootin doesn't hit, or if Jonathan Brooks doesn't get there till week 5, Yeah,
no, completely. But he's also making obviously the big Jags bet here with Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Trevor Lawrence. Like this is a full team bet. CeeDee Lamb, QJ, Jaden Higgins, Rashid Shaheed, and Isaiah Bond. The Isaiah Bond, I think is probably kind of dead at this point with the 2 rookies. I just don't know what kind of role he's going to have. But I get he made a Shador pick and to get somebody to stack with him, but I don't know. Like, do you have any thought on Isaiah Bond?
I think Isaiah Bond could get cut and go to a team and be okay there because he played well last year. I think Cleveland as a team proved that they don't believe in him.
Yeah,
by the double picks early. But I do think if Jerry Jeudy gets moved, he may have a little upside. Or if he gets cut and Jerry Jeudy stays, like I think he could land on a team that needs a deep threat.
Well, where I think he could go is the whole reason he went to Cleveland is because of Reese, the offense coordinator under Stefanski, and he's there in Atlanta. So that would be
fire. Spot. That would be like, man, I have some big board shares of Isaiah Bond. I would love that.
Then Brenton Strange, AJ Barner, Greg Dulcich. I like the late tight end build here. I think it's pretty good.
I don't know if you noticed, but the Rashad White pull up was probably for the week 17 bring back as well.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Like it took like as you scrolled the wide receiver, it clicked.
Yeah,
and I was wondering, I'm like, are we gonna see Antonio Williams or Chig? Like, but
yeah.
we didn't. Like it's
No.
fine. Like, but it is a bring back for that game as well.
No, it is. It definitely is.
We know that because all the teams with bye week 7 play each other.
Yeah,
and they're all high-powered offenses, and it sucks.
No, it does.
It really sucks.
But overall, I think the team is good. It's all in on the Jags.
I just want
a fun team to be in on.
I want to shout out Young Moolah for taking Scatabo at 31 just so Paul couldn't do it. He knows the room he's in. He's seen Paul at 32, and he's like, not today. Not today.
Well, yeah, he knew he wasn't getting him back.
he knew he wasn't getting him back. He's like, not today. Scatabo's mine.
Yeah. So we got Paul here, Legion 3483, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith. So Allen and 2 vets, James Cook,
nice.
Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving, again taking advantage of these 2 situations with 2 incredible anchors. That's a very fun running back room.
Yeah. No
question on that. You just need these things to go your way. And then receiver wise, like Rome.
Well, he's done that in both of these drafts.
Yeah.
I really, really like this to where you pick one thing you want to do in a time box. And maybe he's like, I'm going to go 100% Josh Jacobs Bucky in the pointer. And take the maybe that's the route he wants to go. Like that would be
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, like I do want some too. I'm not one to pull them up, but I do want some too because the offense is so good. Like that is the whole thesis of it.
The offense is good. He's super fast in a straight line. Liam Cohen knows how to make holes.
Yeah.
He could literally just have a 60-yarder random. Like that is like he doesn't have to pay off his ADP to crush you in week 15.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
All right. The back to Paul's team.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Rome, Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison, Michael Pittman Jr., Xavier Worthy. So, he waits until Rome. And I still think this receiver room, and keep going. I mean, Shakir, Debo, Jeremy Bernard, it's still a strong receiver room. Like we're talking a lot more number 2s, obviously. And I know there's some negative news about Alec Pierce, his injury. They said he might not be back to like preseason, which is a little worrisome, but he got the fall. He got the fall with it. He got the 10-pick fall. So that's definitely something I'm going to adjust to. And, I like Pittman a lot. Addison, Worthy, Shakir, Debo, Jeremy Bernard. Like it all feels really good. Double stacking Aaron Rodgers there. And then tight end wise, Dalton Kincaid, again with Josh Allen, Mike Gesicki, and Darnell Washington, the new $40 million man.
Yeah. What do you think on go scroll back down? There was something I was going to ask on the wide receivers. Oh, Jeremy Bernard. How much Jeremy Bernard you got? I am getting to a dangerous level. I had 26% in pre-draft, and I'm 31% in Superflex.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not that high, but I'm high. I'm bullish. I think I think the Steelers are probably going to be top 5 in 11 personnel this year. I think
I've been building differently than you. I think in Superflex this year, I've been taking one elite and then going like 3, going 2 or 3 skill position players, and then like taking Mendoza, whichever one's there, like Mendoza, Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers. I've been doing that a bunch, and then building out a third quarterback with like one of the Browns or the like Falcons or something a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not doing that exclusively, but I'm doing that in like a third of my portfolio.
Gotcha.
So because I'm doing that, I've got an absolute bag of Rodgers, and it's leading me to a lot of Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeremy Bernard is in that range. Like, Flournoy is very similar and obviously just a little bit more experienced, but Tesla, the same. Like, these are the teams, they should be high passing teams, good quarterback, like good passing production, and they're all going to be in a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. So I think making the bet on them versus some of the other receivers that go in that range is pretty good in general. Like even the Stribling bet, and I've taken him a couple times when he falls. He just doesn't go into a position that I like. He's probably the third receiver on a team that doesn't go into 3 wide receiver sets a lot. And even at best, my point is at best, he's a third receiver because you have Christian Kirk there. You have DeMarcus Robinson there. You have other guys in the mix as well. So,
and then it's a team that heavily passes to the RB and
tight end. Yeah.
So
like, I'm going to favor more like the Jeremy Bernards, the Flournoys, the Teslas in that regard, just because I think their opportunities are just much, much higher overall. And so I think the Steelers passing, I think their offense in general will surprise people because it's been so like conservative and anemic the last few years. I think it's going to be much more aggressive, and particularly in the passing game.
Aaron Rodgers is going to go back to something he knows.
Yeah, and my whole point is his underlying metrics, his completion percentage, his touchdown percentage have been good. It's just he's been dealing with obviously injury, but also like some bad offenses, and I think they're just going to a system that fits him to a T, that can be much more aggressive. So but no, I think the Jeremy Bernard thing is, and I think Paul's in on him as well for a lot of these same reasons. This wide receiver room, like I love it.
I mean, this is just a solid. This is an amazing team if the Jacobs Bucky thing works out, just like the last one. And I think making a stand. I don't know if that's his plan, but I think that doing something weird like that in a contest makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, no, I appreciate you. I know you got a show in like 10 minutes, so I'll get you out of here. Everyone go over to Hoohames channel and the link in the comments. But I want to thank you for coming on. This was a lot of fun talking ball, drafting 2 teams.
I got you out of the RB piggy mode today.
Yeah.
Which I've been RB piggy somewhat most season, but like I think like the first room they just destroyed RB.
Yeah.
But like if they destroy RB, you just get stronger at the positions that you have access to. Like if it like panicking and moving up, like do I think that team is elite? No. But I think it could have been awful if we would have panicked at any point and brought up a running back. So like you have to lean into the strength whenever things are going like that, and make the strength a bigger strength.
Yeah. So. Agreed. So want to thank everyone for jumping in, commenting, drafting with us. Though, you probably made sure we're not making the playoffs, but no, good luck to everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day, and jump into Who's Stream in about 10 minutes. I will catch you later. But before I do, Jeopardy tonight, we have the Candyman is back, and he's facing Herzig, 10 p.m. Eastern. That should be a lot of fun.
You got the Best Ball Jeopardy champion versus the BBM 1 champion.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fun matchup.
That should be good. So looking forward to that. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and I will see you next time. Peace.